This bread, this cash, I need it right now. The plug, the re-up, I'm headed back out. The block is home, I made it my house. I need it right now, the fees are en route. They need it right now, the team day is out. They need it right now, they need it right now. Yup, I need it right now. Yo, I really ain't playing about paper. Yo, this guala, this goo up, you know what I'm saying? Cause it protects, so you know I ain't playing. Please don't approach if you.
In now to the Real Shooters Podcast. I'm your co-host Desmond Woods, and we having a special, episode 5 today. As you can see, man, I got the hearts on the sweater because what I'm about to introduce is nothing but love right here. You know what I'm saying? So I had to do the intro. I normally don't do the intro because Dave's like Michael Jordan. I don't mind being Scottie Pippen. But today I be Jordan in the league. So we have a special guest right here. As you all know, this is my co-host David Griffith.
Yo, what's poppin'?
And like I said, I got the hearts. We have his new wife, Maddie Griffith. I wanna make it just like, y'all don't understand, man. This is right here. I just want to take a cheers for you guys.
I already finished my wine.
Oh,
that's okay. I'm still cheers.
Okay. Cheers to holy matrimony, man. I'd like to say, y'all stuck with each other now.
Ooh, we stuck.
Hey, man. There you go, Des. Hey, I like that
I
intro.
like that.
Really
Thank
you. I'm a little nervous. Hey, you see the little sweat right here, man.
Hey, that's respect, man. Well, and on top of that, we brought her on not because she's my wife, but because she is. Let's give her a little background. She is an amazing builder, an inspiring, self-made home building person. She taught herself mostly everything that she knows. Of course, videos were helpful. Of course, she has a crazy following on Instagram. She's built 90% of our furniture and stuff in our house. I would say
yes.
About 90%. I'd say about 90%.
And as y'all can see, man, the setup.
Hey, 80.
That's a made by Maddison piece back there.
Everything is like, you know what I'm
That's
saying?
my first build back
That's
there.
your first build. We're gonna get into it. But let's give her flowers. She's puts on for all the women, all the strong women around here. She doesn't ask for help for these builds. She is an amazing builder. We're gonna put her page out here, but we want to give you guys not only my wife, but owner and CEO of Made by Maddison Cassandra McCammon-Griffith.
Hey,
yeah.
I'm about to just be Maddison Cassandra-Griffith.
Oh yeah.
Too long.
MCG baby. Hey, so okay. So how
Thanks
are you doing?
for having me, guys. I appreciated it.
Of course.
For 5 episodes, I've listened from the other room. You know, heard you guys get the kinks out. Now episode 5. I'm honored to be here.
Listen, we are very excited to have you because you have a lot of information that I feel like could be very intuitive to people who are trying to start their own thing and how to do it. Like, you're a DIY superstar, and I think it's crazy because the stuff that you build in this house is just so amazing that sometimes I come out here and I'll walk into the house after work and I'll see some stuff just laying around and like most people would ask what's going on. I don't even ask. I'm like, I'm gonna figure it out. Like it's gonna come up and I'm gonna see you later.
You really will.
I won't say anything.
No
she can
lie.
have 2x4s and shit.
Okay.
Damn Bob the Builder in here. So we're gonna figure it out.
Yeah.
My first question: when did you find a love for building? Or what do you build? Is it like?
Yeah, it seriously came from nowhere. Like it was there's a little fly in here. It was mid 2020. You know, I just started working from home. I think it was like 2 months into working from home, and I just was like, we had actually mid pandemic. We just moved into this apartment, so we moved in from a 1-bedroom to a 2-bedroom, and like that is a big jump. And like we had nothing. Like we had like our bed maybe and like a couch that his mom let us have, and that was about it. Shout out to mom. And honestly, it was just like I saw this piece on Restoration Hardware. Shout out Restoration. Way too expensive, but I love your stuff. I love copying it. Okay. I saw it and I thought that honestly can't be that hard to build. Like that's just what I thought. And my sister, she's really good with like house stuff. Like she'll like redo floors and like stuff. And so I'm like, she could do it. I could do something. So I truly like YouTubed it, Instagram, same thing that I'm trying to show women now. That you can do it, and did a couple of things. I mean, that is my first build. It is still standing like 3 years later now. So that's pretty good. That was the RH console table that I was trying to replicate. But since then, and then my love just grew from there. I didn't know if I could do it. I bought a couple tools, and my sister let me borrow a couple things, and then all of a sudden I just started, and like I truly say it was a gift from God. Because how did I pick up tools, and like I couldn't even hang a picture before that. Like
I'm gonna be honest with you. I can't even make nothing like that. I feel like 85% of men, and I'm gonna put us all out there, fellas.
Yeah, put them on the map.
Like can't build what you just built.
Almost
right
definitely.
there, that table behind us. Because think about the tools. You had the screws, all that good stuff.
Oh, and it's crazy. Like, if y'all don't know, we live in an apartment. This is an apartment, 2-bedroom. I do everything on our patio. So it's so funny. And, I have to be respectful of neighbors. So I can't do it morning, can't do it night. So I have to do it certain time in the day. And then I'm just also like super scared of getting called out, which knock on wood, in 3 years we have not been. And we always talk to our neighbors.
Yeah.
They actually have asked us to build them. They've asked. Well, funniest part was when they asked our neighbor. So I was out building stuff. Y'all, I literally have, like Dave said, it's no joke. I have stuff laying around the apartment all the time, outside. I'm always in the middle of something. I had something laying out, and Dave was out taking our dog to the bathroom. And the guy goes, "Hey man, I was just wondering, like, do you do this? Do you sell stuff?" And Dave's like, "Oh no, this is not me. This is my fiance. Like, I don't know how to do this." And he was like, "Oh, okay, well, do you think you could build me like a game table?" He goes, "No, man, like you don't understand. Like it is not me." Like he thought, like, I don't know if the guy thought he was downplaying it or something. And so no. But honestly, not to be all mushy on the podcast. Love Dave, don't want to be mushy, but I truly couldn't have done this without Dave. I told him one day, I was like, "I'm gonna start building stuff." He's like, "Cool, let me know if you want to go to Home Depot with you." I was like, "Dope, thank you."
Partnership right there.
That's
supportive, like he has your back.
It's so important, especially for something that I was so nervous about and something I didn't know if I could do. He was like, "Try it." But I have to shout out his family. He has 2 really strong sisters, and his mother is just like amazing. So honestly, they've raised him where he's like, strong woman, it's just normal. Where some men are intimidated by that, or like things like that, where he was just like, "Yeah, cool, do it." Now Dave will do the dishes, I'll hang the pictures that we need. Like that's just like how we work. Like we're not
I grew up, and just we're not gonna get too much into them because it's about you today, but I grew up around such strong women that weak women make me sick. And I know it sounds messed up, and it's like nothing wrong with not you not being the strongest in the room, but you not being able to put your best foot forward, or feeling like just because you're a woman, like this is where you're at. That shit's so whack to me. Yeah. It's like quit putting yourself in a box, because then you're messing it up for someone that's behind them. Yeah. And if I were to have a daughter, I would want them to be the best ever, not the best woman.
There is no limitations.
No, there really isn't.
And I feel like that's one of our key focal points. It's like, bro, we can't put limits on anything. Right?
Yeah, because we keep talking about it.
And it's so surreal, and it's like, man, it's universal. Like, you literally can probably build anything that you put your mind to.
Oh, truly. But I truly believe anybody could do things. I actually think we limit ourselves. I think that, like, a lot of the time, also society does it to us as well. Like, people will tell you that you can't do stuff just so that you don't do it.
Exactly.
But I do think we limit ourselves a lot too, because if I just didn't try to build something one time, I would never know. Like, I'm not like I said, my sister can do stuff, but like even she's like, "Maddie, I've never built furniture before, though." Like, you don't know what you can do until you do it.
Facts.
Like, and then, but we do limit ourselves. I do it to myself to this day. I'll be like, "No, Dave, I can't do that." He's like, "Try it. Like, let's see." Like,
so I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Man. What do you want to build? Do you have a dream project?
I don't have a dream project. I think every project that I have, I hate to bring it back. No, actually, I don't hate to bring it back to all this. I think all my builds that I come up with are like messages from God, like, or it's like that. So I have a daybed build. It's really practical. It's in our second room. It's in our guest room, and it's our game room, and it's our office. It's like very multi-purpose because we only have 2 bedrooms. blessed to have 2 bedrooms, but we only have 2 bedrooms. And so it's a twin bed that pulls out into a king size bed when we have guests. And so it'll have it's basically like the twin mattress on top, and we have another one go underneath, and then we can pull it out, and it's a king bed. So it's a huge space saver. That went viral on Instagram.
You built that?
Yeah, I built that.
What?
Yeah.
Y'all, like, I just had that wire moment when...
You didn't know that?
I didn't know that. I see it in there, and I'm I thought, because I always see, like, furniture stores, they have that.
Oh, yeah. IKEA has it, but not like that custom in a way.
It's not that, like, that's great quality.
And I actually, at the time, because of lumber prices, I actually built it cheaper than IKEA, which IKEA is particle board. It's like, IKEA is great for some things, but it is like fake wood. But so that is what made me go viral on Instagram. And that, honestly, I wasn't going to do that. And then one day I was like just chilling, and I swear it just like came over me. Like, it's when I'm in my most relaxed state and things like that. And I'll just get these like ideas. And I literally had an idea, or I felt like God said to me, Maddie, why don't you build the day bed? And in what it was told to me was basically, do it because if you move out, you can take it. Where something I was wanting to do was specific to this apartment, where like if we moved, it probably wouldn't relate. Like when maybe we'd use it, maybe wouldn't, but this we can use whenever. And I just kind of felt like that. So then I said, Dave, I'm going to build the day bed next. And he's like, cool. And so, and then that's what happened. And I don't know that. So I truly do think sorry to go back to your comment or to your question. I don't have a dream build, but I do feel like all the builds that I've done have been like ideas that's God has given me to make.
That's mind blowing, because I walk past that when we do and I never thought like,
I built the desk too in there.
I'm gonna take a drink to you.
Yeah.
That's so serious, man.
That's what I said. She built about 90% of the stuff. You don't even realize it.
I never knew that.
Yeah, man. So the big thing with me, so we're talking about it. We jumped around a little bit.
Yeah, but my dream build is kind of what he was asking me though, and I don't really have one.
No, we're fine. Yeah,
okay.
I'm talking about us jumping around a little bit I want to start from the beginning.
Okay.
Let's see who you are as a person. You know what I'm saying? I want to talk to you about that. So kind of tell us where you're from and where everything about that, stuff like that.
You want me to go all the way back? Okay.
Yeah, I want to know. Hey, I know who you are.
You want me to tell everybody who I am? I got it.
Know who you are.
I got it. So I was actually born in California, but when I was about 2 years old, both my parents are Canadian, so we moved back to Canada. My dad was working down there at the time, and that's kind of been a huge catalyst for my life that I've had dual citizenship. So I'm both a Canadian and an American, and so I can hold both passports, which is like such a beautiful thing. And my dad was actually a world-renowned water ski coach. So water skiing does not get enough props. Everyone knows wakeboarding. We all know that if water skiing was easy, we'd call it wakeboarding, but we don't.
Shots fired.
Shots fired. I know. What's it called when someone does it barefoot?
Yeah, barefooting. That's probably. But I'm gonna give them their props. Stop.
Yeah, I do that.
Stop.
You could mess yourself up doing that.
They're crazy. Oh, I have friends that do that because like in the sport, it's kind of a similar circle when you're growing up. But yeah, so I was a water skier though, and I do feel like that was a huge part of my life. I water skied, and I would be like 6 months in California, 6 months back in Canada. My dad would pull me out of school all the time. I honestly lived on the road, and my teachers were just so cool. They'd be like so cool with it in Canada. They would like just give me my homework. They would just give me my homework and be like, okay, this is what we're doing for the next 3 weeks. My dad like had it all worked out. So that was a big like part of my life, and that's really where I became very like independent and kind of thinking that I can do a lot of stuff, because I'm like, oh, if I can do schooling and ski and do all of this thing, then in the winter time I would snow ski, because my dad was a snow ski coach. So he was honestly a huge entrepreneur. Probably the hugest turning point in my life was at 18, not to make it sad, when he passed away, because he was such a huge part of my life. So it was kind of figuring my life out and who I was after that. But I truly believe that everything does happen for a reason. And I probably spent more time with my dad in those 18 years than a lot of people spend with their dad in their whole lifetime. So I got that time, and he really showed me, a lot. And then my condolences. Sorry. No, don't. It's sad, but also I like to talk about him to relive his memory, Absolutely. And everyone deals with death differently, but I do know that he's looking down and he's in a better place. So it's all good. But, and then after that, people stepped up so big, and it was such a cool thing to see. And I think that really taught me a lot in life as well. Just like to be there for people and to be a community is so big for people. And back to building that, like I wouldn't be here if it weren't for Dave supporting me and things like that too.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then water skiing, that's another big thing. It led me to water skiing. Got me a scholarship to the University of Louisiana at Monroe.
Okay.
It was my dream school. We had ski right on the bayou. We won all 4 collegiate national championships while I was there, so it's really big. I have rings.
I knew she was gonna try and slide past this. Every time we have this conversation, she slides past that shit like it's nothing.
No,
Like I don't think
elaborate on that.
4-time national champion skier.
Like, have you ever thought about going to the Olympics?
So you know what's sad? Water skiing's not in the Olympics either as wakeboarding because we are pulled by a boat that has a motor. And they say that anything, no motorized sports are in the Olympics.
Exactly.
It all has to be self-propelled.
Advantages and all that good stuff.
There really is not. There really isn't.
It can't be if everybody uses the same motor.
And the same driver. Yeah. We all have drivers. But there's things, but I still keep up with the ski community. But what's really cool though is it got me a full ride scholarship. It brought me to ULM, and that's where Dave and I met.
And ULM. I see how it's starting to
now it's starting to come.
Yeah.
And what's cool for me, truly, we always talk about it like that. Just everything happens for a reason. Like I never thought of any other school at ULM because all my idols that were in water skiing went to ULM. So I'm just going to ULM.
So it's like ULM like a profound
for water skiing. Yes. They've won the most national championships. We have a bayou right on campus. So, y'all, I would literally be going to class. In between my classes, I'd go catch a ski set because there'd be people waiting down there. And then you go. It's the coolest thing ever. I wish you could put overlays of just showing ULM. Y'all look up ULM.
So
it's
ULM
really cool.
is basically like Alabama as far as water skiing.
For water skiing, yes. Yeah.
They're the Alabama of water.
Totally.
So when you're walking on campus, you that person.
Oh, actually,
their water ski team is stupid.
Oh, actually, I had the funniest story that I have to tell you. That's a side note completely.
Okay.
We were at a ULM event. Dave was invited and brought me as his +1. It was a football event, okay? At the AT&T Stadium here in Dallas. Really beautiful, right off the stadium, okay? So we walk in there, and it's, oh, Dave. I think I lost him. I think I walked in, and Dave's gone because everyone loves Dave in the football world, right? Everyone loves Dave in the football world. They love him.
Dave that dude.
Dave that dude. At ULM, maybe not everybody. Yeah. But so we walk in, right? And no one's even paying me any attention, which, you know what? Whatever. Dave was the one invited. So we're all talking. I had seen people actually that I knew from ULM. Saw Evan and all of them. So I'm chit-chatting. And some of the women that were talking to Dave come over and they're like, "Oh, what were you? A cheerleader?" And I go, "Oh, actually, I was on the water ski team." And they were like, "Oh my gosh!"
Yeah.
Their tune changed so fast.
So how many championships did you have on your belt before you went to that event that Dave invited you on?
I had 4. I had
so you already had
I had already 4. Yeah. We did 4. Yeah, this was after college.
Everything.
Okay.
It was such a funny thing.
She's a 4-4 champion.
Yeah.
They didn't even know. They
didn't
even know until.
No.
Wow.
But because the water ski team is so known, but it was so funny that she thought I was a cheerleader, and then I was like, "No, I was on the water ski team," and that it all of a sudden I was the coolest in the room, and Dave was like a nobody. I was like, "Thank you, finally." No, I'm kidding.
Not nobody.
No, he was. No, I'm not joking. Y'all walked in, I lost him.
That's the thing though. Maddie is a profound athlete. She's super athletic. She downplays it a lot because she's like, "Oh yeah, no, this and that." She's done it for so long, but truthfully, she's probably the best athlete in the house.
That's what we do. That's what James says. It's so funny.
When you said you're an expert water skier, you know how to snow ski, right?
Yep, I snow ski raced. So slalom and GS and
that's
all that.
And that's Olympic sport, right?
Yeah, that's an Olympic sport.
Okay,
yeah.
Okay.
At one point though, I was missing too much school, to be honest, and my dad said you got to choose between snow skiing and water skiing.
Okay.
Just watch.
Okay. It's fine. It goes into.
Sorry, I just wanted. I just got
into the little dormant mode to where it's. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's running still.
Yeah.
No worries.
But yeah, so basically it was a point where I was missing too much school, where my teachers actually had to have a talk with my dad and was like, you either have to online school her or you have to, whatever. So my dad said water ski or snow skiing, and I knew I could at least get a collegiate get to the collegiate level in water skiing.
Okay.
And because I was just better at water skiing, let's just say that. So I chose that. But I love snow skiing. I love snow skiing. It's so great. And it's like a Canadian thing, though, you know?
So, have you ever took Dave on the slopes to go skiing?
We're going to. But this year, you know.
You ready, Dave?
Born ready.
Okay,
They don't
okay.
call
I
me-
like that
they don't
energy.
call me
Have you ever been
Snowy
snow
Dave
skiing?
for nothing.
I've never been snow skiing.
No, never snow skiing. Okay, fair.
To
I
be
told
honest-
Maddie I'm gonna teach her something on the water skis, you know. So we
Okay.
teach her the toe tricks and everything, how to do it with one hand, get up easy. I'm trying to put her on
Hey,
game. She
Dave
don't
will come back.
understand.
He gonna have a bandage on. All this stuff.
Des already knows. Like, look at that.
I'm telling you, I'm coming
No.
to that thing. I'm doing the no hand jumping in the water and all that. Listen,
Okay.
it's okay. Listen, I'm gonna put her on game. She don't think I know. I know.
Okay, so this
Just
is
like
the
I'm
question.
gonna throw a touchdown in the next football game, you know?
So,
Exactly.
so going back to the ULM day.
Yes.
Okay. When did you? Because y'all are just recently married.
Yep.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
How did y'all first meet? Is my question. When did y'all first meet?
I hate this story. But you know what? No,
Who's
I
gonna
don't.
tell the story? I see Dave.
Dave's gonna tell the story. Dave's gonna tell. But I just want everyone to know, women, shoot your shot. That's all I gotta say.
Slid in my DM.
I did.
boy.
Okay.
So you want me to tell the story? I'll tell the story. So
Are you gonna
So-
tell the real story?
I'm gonna tell the real story. I'm
Okay.
not gonna lie to anybody. It's okay.
Real Shooter Podcast.
It's
We
a
giving
real
them the
shooter podcast.
We giving them the
It's a
real.
podcast, and I'll tell you one thing. Maddie's one of the realest shooters of all time. So it's perfect that
Shot
she's
by
on this
shot.
show. So with that, right, I work at the activity center in the springtime. Just
Okay.
get a little extra money,
What's the activity center?
Activity center is a place where all of the people can go play games.
It's
It's
an
like a rec
on-campus
center.
gym.
On-campus gym, rec center. You had basketball. You had the actual
Saunas.
gym. You had saunas. You had a upstairs running track.
Okay.
Just places to keep
Okay.
yourself healthy.
Basketball court.
Usually a lot of the athletes didn't use it because they're either working out in the basketball coliseum or in the football stadium.
Yeah.
So
This was more for just on-campus
On-campus students who
students,
wanna
stay-
others.
yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
anyone really.
Go
But
work
yeah,
out, hoop, all that good stuff.
yeah, it actually was
Exactly.
free. It was one of the great things ULM had. But
yeah.
Okay.
But so we're working there and everything like that, and oh, sorry, I heard
I
Ashley.
heard him
It's
too.
okay. It's okay. I'm clipping shit anyway, so it's fine. But so we're on campus and everything like that, and I work there in the springtime. Just get a little extra money. I'm just a guy who walks around, make sure people do what they're supposed to do. Maddie works in the front office.
I was getting my master's at the time. I did my graduate assistantship there.
Okay.
So you're pretty much like the bodyguard there, making sure it ain't nobody
Exactly.
doing them reckless and all
I'm
that
a
good
big football player. They're like, they're not gonna mess with him.
Okay.
So,
And I worked in the front office, so I was like paychecks and
Okay.
timesheets and schedules and all that.
Exactly,
Kind of stuff. Yeah.
exactly. And so she was the one who actually would give you your check when you at the end of the month and everything. So
It was so old school. They had to sign their checks.
sign for our checks, grab the check, no direct
Paper
deposit.
checks, no
Like,
direct
what?
deposit
This is
here.
No direct
20,
deposit?
No.
2015, 2016, 2017, like all this crap. And
Yeah.
so, we're I go in there and everything like that to get my check. I remember I'm going home, so I'm rushing in to get my check and everything. And I'm like trying to do it super fast and everything. And let's not pull it. 'Cause are y'all not hearing any buzzing? Are y'all?
No.
Okay.
No, sir.
So we're going in there and everything like that, and I'm like, dude, I just gotta hurry up and rush and get my stuff. Let me hurry up and get my stuff. Well, Maddie, she's trying to be all nice and everything like that. And I'm not peeping because I'm really like, get my check, head home. I've been at school for months now. Like, I'm ready to go home, relax, come to Dallas.
Okay.
So I come in, and she's like, "Oh, I've never seen you here." And I say, "Yeah, no, I work in the back. I'm a rover." Da, 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 da. And she's like, "Oh, okay." She's like, "Hi, man." I was like, "Hey, how you doing? I'm just here to get my check." I'm one mindset. I'm not peeping. I'm not peeping. And so she said, "Oh, that I get my check. I'm out, gone." A couple weeks probably go by. I come back to school and everything like that. I get a follow. I'm like, "Who's this?" I was like, "This one who works on the inside." I said, "Okay." So that's one who works in the front office and everything like that. Follow her, and then probably a couple days go by, and whatever. I get a message looking, I'm like, huh?
Tell them what time it was.
Bro,
It goes
was
down
late.
in DMs.
It was late. It was demon time.
It was after the club, so let's just say I was not in my right mind.
Yeah, a couple
Okay.
drinks
So
on her and
oh
everything
my
like
gosh.
that. You know, and as you talking, I'm like, oh, okay, this and that. So we ended up started talking, getting to know each other a little bit more and everything like that. And the rest is history. I'm not gonna do it, but
Yeah.
she definitely slid up in
I
there.
did.
She-
I really
Okay,
did.
okay.
Yeah.
It was a respectful slide though, very respectful.
So this is free game for everyone out here.
Hey,
if
women
you-
shoot their
I-
shots.
It's nothing wrong with a woman shooting their shot.
I
you see that big old rock right there, y'all.
I
Hey.
know a lot of women that have actually now these days. Everybody, it's like society saying, "Oh, women can't. All men have to do that." I don't.
No, it's like
If we have to
whatever you
wait for
want in
y'all
life,
for
go
everything.
after that.
That's the women I like though. Like the women who go for after what they want
Mm-hmm.
and do what they need. You know what I'm saying? So I respected it. I didn't think anything of it. I didn't think it was funny. I was like, okay, smooth.
But y'all, for real, like I had worked at the activity center for like 3 years, never seen Dave in my life, and like and that's why I was
Bro.
like, oh, I've never seen you before. He's like, David Griffith, give me my paycheck. Basically, I was like, yes, sir, got it. I was like,
I was
done.
trying to go.
I know how
He
David
was-
is, David. So I have a question for you guys,
Yeah.
the newlyweds. Me, myself, I'm a bachelor. I've been a bachelor for a while. How do you know, and this could be separate, I'm asking separate questions. How do you know when you found the one? Do y'all feel like when you knew that I want to spend the rest of my life with Dave, I want to spend the rest of my life with Maddie, what gave that feeling like, boom, you're the one?
You want to go first or me?
I felt like for me at least, the reason why I felt that it was that I don't believe in love at first sight. I don't believe that shit. I think that shit's fake. I think people say that shit, and I think it's lust. I think you're lustful.
I do agree.
I think
I agree.
you're lustful after someone because your eyes will deceive you every time. You know what I'm saying?
See, I'm a believer. I'm a hopeless romantic type dude.
I respect it.
Yeah,
So
respect
like,
that.
I believe like, oh, boom, that's the one, and then it'll be the one.
It'll be like this. You might see a woman that your eyes might think love at first sight, and it could turn out to be right. But the character that you are following with that sight is what you're marrying.
Mm-hmm.
Your eyes are the only thing that marries a body, but your soul is what marries what comes after that. Like your soul, I truly believe in like, okay, I don't believe in like, oh, we're meant to be and that this is so. I feel like trials and tribulations and what you guys put into the relationship is what builds it. Like me and Maddie have had our situations where we've had to grow and build each other. Now, a lot of people may fold, but I feel like I truly found out that it was true love when trials were put to the test. And they don't always got to be, arguing and this and that. No, my trial was, dude, I had a plantar, Liz Frank tear. And this is when your bone in your foot, it splits between your big toe and the toe next
Yeah,
to
you got
it,
tackled.
which causes inflammation. I got tackled weird in a game. I mean,
someone
one of my
landed on
guys rolled over my foot and weird in a game.
Yeah.
And Maddie was supposed to go to Houston to see her sister. Everybody left school. Everybody. There was nobody there, right? Maddie was the only person who stayed with me to make sure that I got taken care of. She drove me around because I couldn't drive. And she made sure that I was able to get around school and do everything like that to the point that my mother didn't come down. And this is a point in time where my mother's like, oh, yeah, anything happens, I'm coming down.
That's her baby
My
boy.
mom didn't even come down. My mom
that
like,
was
she'll
huge.
take care of you. She's taking care of you, so I don't need to come down.
Yeah.
And I knew when my mother was able to pass me off to someone and truly trusting that person to get it done, I knew that was real love. And she didn't have to do that. She could have left just like everybody else. Dude, we're nobody's on campus. It's just
no,
us.
I know. Like that's kind of like
Yeah.
winter break when everybody leaves and say some people stay because they, may have a job out there or whatever. Like the campus is dead. You know
It's
what I mean?
empty.
Like,
You know what I
it's
mean?
empty.
Yeah.
Like wow. No,
And she could have left me. She could have left like everybody else. And I would have had to hobble my ass. And
You had
I had
doctor's appointments.
I had
and
no car.
everything.
I would have had to get or someone to probably get me.
Uber wasn't even available at the time.
I
That
probably would
wasn't
have
a
had to
thing.
get my trainer to pick me up and my trainer take me. Then my trainer bring me to the thing, and then my trainer take me back, and then everything else I would have to figure it out by myself. You know what I'm saying? Like there's been countless times where I don't want to say battle tested, but she's been battle tested.
Yeah.
To where she could be for herself and care for herself, which would have been rightfully so, and she put me first. There was a point in time, like I told you before, where I didn't have the money. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have a good job. Maddie got her job before me. She moved in with my parents when I was still playing my last year. So when I got back home, I had no job. I had no money. I was broke.
We were
You know what I'm
thugging it.
saying?
We were thugging it.
We were thugging
Trying to
hard.
afford a Dallas
Yeah.
apartment on one
And
small
I wasn't
salary.
working at all. You know what I'm saying? And
You were.
Then when I got my jobs and everything like that, working at City Dog, working at Zoomies and everything like that, my money still was not even close to what she was making going in. And she was okay with taking the load. A lot of women aren't. I'm talking about the load. I'm talking about she's paying for the rent. She's paying for this. That's why I have so much respect for my wife. Like, she's battle tested. She knows when shit gets tough, she's not going to fold. She's not going to blame me. She's not going to go against me. She's going to stand there with me on her 2 feet, and she's going to weather the storm with me. And that's what I think true love is. So finding a person who's willing to weather the storm with you, not bail when shit gets tough or when you're not who you usually are or something like that. You see a lot of people, women like that. You see, not just women, you see a lot of men like that too.
Yeah.
You see a lot of partners who bail out on their person, now, especially now, because I feel like a lot of people are money hungry. But you got a lot of people that bail out on their partner when shit gets tough.
Well, also, I think a lot of people are easy to say the grass is always greener on the other side, but it truly is not. Like, it is greener, like, as cliche as you want to call it, it's greener where you water it. It will, anything in the world. Oh, his drink looks better than me. Their house is better than, you have no idea. Like,
what goes on?
You have no idea. You could drive by the fattest mansion and they're the most unhappy people in the world. You know what I'm saying? So, like, it's just,
I agree.
So
I agree. And that's true. And I love how she said that. The grass is greener where you
water it.
Where you water it.
But we're not going to be the first to sit here and say Dave and I are perfect. We have like Dave said, we have been through our trials and tribulations. Facts. And I don't think there was definitely one moment that I was like, oh, this is the one. Like Dave said, it's kind of over time. But I will say, Dave has always shown me that he was a man that I could trust and I could be with, I could rely on. And honestly, when I saw him with his family, especially with him having sisters and how he treats his mom and just how he treats people too, that was a huge thing for me. But I have to say, like, it was time. Like, I don't believe in love at first sight. I do believe that I thought he was very handsome when I first saw him, but maybe not love, but we've been through our stuff. There's been time there. If we would have given up, we could easily be done by right now. We could not be getting married, but we decided not to give up and we decided to fight for it and water and grow together. And a lot of people, like we were saying, and this is really unfortunate, but we did notice a lot of couples during COVID grew apart. Where that's where I feel like Dave and I actually grew together.
Facts.
Like, because y'all were like, when COVID happened, you can't go nowhere. You're here with your spouse.
Well, actually, though, I do agree with that, but Dave actually I started working from home like March, I think I should remember, like March 16th or something. We started working from home. Dave never worked from home. But I don't think that was what it was. Like, but that you were starting your career at Enterprise and just like starting your career out of school. So he actually never worked from home. But I do feel, but he didn't work from home. He worked freaking how many hour days? Like, he'd be gone from like 9 a.m. to like 11:30 p.m. that night at the airport. Yeah. And that tested us a lot too. But I think that's what like brought us closer together. And I know Dave was working his butt off because he had seen me like, he had seen me grind and do all of that and support. But going back to that also, like, women, it's not always going to be 50-50 in a relationship.
Say that again for everyone out there.
It is not always going to be 50-50. And you have to be able to, sometimes it's going to be 80-20, and you got to be cool with putting in that 80 and know that it's going to come back around. Like, because it is just, in a relationship, that's a friend said that to me when Dave was working in Enterprise. And I'm not saying it was hard for me, like, oh, we were going to break up. It was hard for me, like, I was like, oh, I'm alone a lot. I just started working from home, like, and Dave's working a lot. Like, this is kind of hard for me. And my friend was like, but how beautiful that, like, it's not always going to be 50-50 and that maybe you're putting in 80-20 right now or whatever it is. But, like, how beautiful that is something that you can do and work with. And now Dave's 80 and I'm 20. Like, exactly. It comes back around.
Because he doesn't forget what you went through to get y'all to the point, and he's like, okay, now that I'm on, watch how I'm about to,
And yeah,
overdrive and do exactly what you did to put us to another.
You just like you did for me.
but I will say, like, I did that for him. I know he would have done that for me. I was just happened to have an amazing job at the time and could do that. But I know if it was reversed, it would have been the exact same. Dave would have put in 80 at that time, and like you said, yeah, like that. So it really, but it. You can't expect 50-50 all the time, and you got to be cool to pull a little bit of weight. And also, just with women these days, be your own person. Have things that bring your happiness too. Because I rely on Dave for so much, and we always come back together. But having that I will say, having this woodworking something, it saved me. It saved me because I was also like, I was a retired athlete. I just started a corporate job, and I think a lot of people can relate to that were college athletes or things like that. You go into a corporate job, and you go from college or whatever you're doing, athlete, you're getting paid for this. It's so cool to being at a corporate job, learning corporate America, sitting at a desk for 8 hours.
It's a whole new system that you
a
have to
It's a
adjust
whole
to.
new world.
Yep.
It's a different world.
People,
Absolutely.
you want to say college prepares you? I was in college for 6 years, 4 years undergrad, 2 years of my MBA. I was not prepared for the real world. That I like to call. I like to call it my big girl job, my real world.
Yep.
That college is still cushy, and I paid for everything. Don't think that I had people to. I paid for stuff, but it was not cushy. It was
absolutely.
so. But I have to say, it always like everyone says, "Oh, college was my best years."
I don't feel that.
I don't feel that way.
I feel like as the older you get, life should get even more satisfying.
I agree with that.
It should get better.
Yeah.
My dad has an old saying. He's like, the longer you live, man, life should go your way.
And I like that.
The longer you live, if you do things as core to what you believe in and to your morals, if you do everything the right way, as righteously as you can live, life should be better for you.
I agree.
You
And
know?
I don't ever.
Because some people get stuck, like you
That's
said.
what I wanted to say. That's
and,
exactly
And
it.
I found
They
myself
never leave.
a couple of years.
We have some people that we have some people that are still. We were just not. Honestly, also too.
No disrespect.
No
but we were
disrespect.
like,
No
but
judge. We
but
were just
like-
shocked that they
I
were
was like-
still
I was
in
like,
Monroe.
Bro, you're still like going to like events at ULM.
Yeah, I was like, you're still going to
It's
clubs
okay
that we
be
went to, and
alumni, but like you're still running the
and
show.
we've all been back to Monroe. We've all done stuff.
Exactly.
But when
And-
I see people, I'm like, oh, they're so much better. But it doesn't. At the time, it doesn't feel like it. But
Yeah.
truly, I do feel like it's sad when people are like, oh, college were my best years. I'm like, really? I'm like, right now is my best years. Because I also think, I think back to college. I was a toxic girl, man. I've learned a lot. I've met God in this time. I was toxic. As much as Dave wants to say that I was sweet, I did. At the end, I was. But I went through my toxic phase. But I think you have to.
You were a good person.
I was a good person. I like to say that, but I was out there drinking from Thursday to Sunday. I didn't know.
But that's
college.
Yeah,
It is. But I was also like, I think back to hanging out with some people, and I was just like, I was not a good person. Like, I truly think a lot of people that knew me in college or that I was close friends with in college, do not know me now. I will say that. Maybe they knew my college me, but like, if I were to hang out with those people now, not to say names, but if I were to hang out with some of those people now, they would not know who I was. Because I'm a different person.
I think that's okay. I think that's
Yeah,
growth.
that's what I
like
think it is too.
I feel like that's the big thing. Like the people that are still stuck there are the same people that are
Those are the ones that's not going to
I pray for
recognize it
them.
because they're still
I hope
stuck
in that
college, kind of mind frame. And you have to
They're so
kind of
much better.
evolve as an adult because it sucks to, 10 years later and people, still, hey, you want to go? There's nothing wrong with going to the club, but it's like, hey, you want to go to the club Monday? Hey, bro, let's pop out Tuesday. Let's pop out. Bro, I got a whole job. I got rent. I got this to pay. I got this because, as you get older, like I said, you want to evolve.
Yes.
Evolve. I
You
like
know?
that.
That's how I kind of look at it. I look at life very simple.
Yeah.
I look at it as, that's the whole thing. Evolve and to inspire.
Yeah.
Inspire, who you can. Just from your own testimony of what you do, what you work. You know what I mean? Like how you build things.
Yeah.
You can make things come to, life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, man, congratulations.
Thank you. No, I agree with that. Evolving is huge in life. And, adulting's hard. It will knock you back. Man, I just think of our...
Adulting is different.
Adulting is different.
Stay a kid as long as you can.
And y'all dropped some gems for me, you know what I mean? Because, like y'all both just said, it's not about the outside. And I feel like, with the generation it is now, everybody... I gotta look like this, I gotta do this, or I gotta be buff, I gotta get lip filters and stuff like that. That's not what's gonna, make someone want to be with you for the rest of your life.
No.
Yeah.
It's who you are as a person. It's inside of you. You know what I mean? That
Do
you
those
can
things if
inspire
those will make
somebody
you
and
feel
them
better. Yeah. If those lip injects will make you feel better, do that. If that'll make you
Oh
feel
yeah,
more
there's nothing
secure.
wrong with it.
No, there's nothing wrong. But like you said,
Yeah,
but that's eventually gonna wear away too. You
Mhm.
have to be cool with like Dave and I always joke. There's like those little memes that are like on Instagram. It's like, could you be in this house for 2 years without any phones or anything and just be with someone? It's like yes, like it like like easily, like yes, no problem.
Ain't nothing wrong with enhancing. It's yours.
Yeah, no, facts.
Hey, I got nothing against it, but I also believe that Kendrick N95, you take all the bullshit away, what do you got? I believe that's a true thing. I feel like it's the same when you're trying to date somebody too. Okay, after I look at them and the lust and everything, what do they have to them? And is this person? What kind of person is this person? What kind of person do my parents think this person is?
Absolutely.
What do I see myself doing with this person? Is this person motivated to themselves? Like, is this person able to motivate me? Maybe when I'm down. I might be somebody who's gonna lift me up when I'm down.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I think that's important. I also understand, and I think that people don't grasp that just because someone's not for me doesn't mean it's not for you. Everybody's
Absolutely.
the same. Maddie might be my perfect woman, but somebody else, Maddie might be the shittiest
The
woman.
worst person in the world.
I might
Absolutely.
I might be Maddie's perfect man. I might not be Maddie's perfect man. I might be someone that she really, but we grew together. I might be the shittiest, worst, could never person for somebody, and that's okay.
Yeah.
You gotta find the person that I feel fits the best,
for you.
Yeah.
and that you could be real with. I can be completely honest with Maddie.
Yeah.
We could talk about the realest shit, the same shit that I could talk about with my mother and my father, and with how there's no judgment. That's the same. That's how you should be with your significant other.
So here's a great question, and this is so cliche. Is your spouse your best friend?
Without a doubt.
So you feel like your spouse should be your best friend? Because
Yeah.
you know how they say that's like the cliche thing. Oh no, my wife should be my. And how I think about it, because my parents are still together.
With me and Maddie, we have really close friends, and our friends are really good and everything like that. But there's shit that I've told Maddie that I've never told my friends. There's shit I've told Maddie that I've never told my parents. There's shit that I told Maddie that I've never told. There's just a certain level. It's a different level. That's your especially with your wife.
Yeah.
That's a different level. That one starts to creep over everybody
Well,
else.
well,
You know what I'm
as
saying?
honestly, as Dave and I have learned, and I'm sure a lot of people have learned, as you get older, your friends, they thin out. We have a handful of good friends, but we used to have 3,000 handfuls of good friends, right? But they thin out, and as you realize, as they thin out, or people do stuff where you're just like not cool with, you come back to that not even come back, but you go to that person, and you're just like. You realize, like Dave and I will always say, that's why you're my best friend, because someone will do something to us and we'll be like, oh, that, not that they're not our best friends, but it's like, oh.
Your friends change when you grow.
As you grow.
Because
yeah.
they say, if you want to see yourself, look at the people around you.
Well, that's true. Yeah.
And
that's
why you see a lot of like married people hang out with other married people.
Facts.
Because they have the same, kind of beliefs and
where they're
going.
going.
And where they want to go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I'm a true believer in that as well.
Yeah, but I think if you have that person that you can go to, I'm not saying your friends disappoint you, but let's just say, as your friends weed out as you get older and stuff like that, guess who's still there? Your person.
Absolutely.
Like I think of Dave as like he's more than my husband. Like he's my person. He's my safe space. He's where I go to. He's who I talk to everything about. If I don't even tell, like you said, if I don't even tell my mom about it, I'll tell him about it.
To me, marriage is so special because one thing that I know about marriage is it takes both work on both ends, right? But marriage is like a rope. It's, male. It's, it's like your partner, and then y'all wrapped it. You know how a rope is made. It's 3. So y'all wrapped it behind God. So it's like, once that rope is, tethered, it can't be broken.
Exactly.
It can't be broken. So, man, that's why marriage is so important.
No, I love that. I do feel like when
it's a different level.
when your marriage is built on faith and things like that too, that's next level. When God has a hand on your marriage and your thing and your life, really, that's next level.
I'm trying to get like y'all, man, but
you will,
man, let me
you
tell
will.
You, dog, I'm still up in the
You will. You will.
You would probably in the club.
Hey, bro.
Well, I don't want to talk on anyone. I don't want to say people's names that don't want to be talked about. But like, just to shout out my friend Stephanie. Like she was a hopeless romantic. She's been through it. She has amazing kids and she's had 2 marriages and things like that. And she had come to me at one point and she was like, I don't know what, I want a man, Maddie. I want this. But now she has the most amazing man and she prayed for him and she prayed for, and it's crazy now. And it's beautiful. They're building their relationship on faith.
Shout out
Tim. We love Tim.
Because that's what the older generation, they tell us, like, pray for what you want. And then you have to act on that. So if I want to be a husband one day, in order to find a wife, I have to be husband material. And I feel like that's what people lack nowadays. We may say, for example, you have athletes out there who say, I want to go to the NBA. I want to go to the NFL. Yeah. But are you putting in that work to make it there, to be, that caliber of a player? Yeah. So you can't just expect yourself. I can't expect myself to be a husband if I'm, still doing same things and stuff like that. You have to evolve.
That's like anything in life, though, right? Like you said, yeah. And you know what? There are people that find their husbands or wives in the club, and I love that. But a lot of the time, you're not going to find them. You know what I mean? But you could. But like he said, you want to be doing stuff to mimic that. Mindset is everything in life. That's what I'm 31 this year. I'm like grandma. I'm a cougar. I'm a cougar for my baby.
Nah, you can't be 31. I would have never guessed that.
I am. But our whole family looks young. So like we always say, I'm just gonna benefit from that when I get older.
You look like younger than Dave. Like
I know.
I guarantee when y'all go out.
No, he doesn't get ID'd and I do all the time. It's like a common thing.
But that's a good thing because
I'm cool with it.
In your 40s, you're gonna still probably look 20.
Yeah, I still feel like I'm like 18. So I'm like, as long as I look right, as young as you look. But yeah, no, but this is past my bedtime, so I act like I'm a freaking grandma. But don't get that twisted. No, but yeah,
No, dude, that is.
But hey, let's talk about you though for real quick. What is something that you look for in a woman? Like, let's say, where are you finding your women these days?
For me, man, I'm still adjusting to the social media era because I'm old school. Yeah, like, I'm the baby of everybody, so I like to walk up, like and introduce myself, like, hey, how you doing? My name's Desmond. I'm very old school like that, but it's hard, man, because the older you get, man, it's like you can't expect. I go into relationships expecting anything. You can't go in. You got to go in there with a clean slate. Yeah. You can't expect the person to act a certain way,
to be like your ex, or to act like this,
exactly.
Or to
And that's where I think I kind of mess up because I expect. Oh well, if I meet you, the first 5 days, oh, she's a nice person, so I expect her to be a nice person all the time. Yeah. And then when it switch up, she has a bad day. I'm like, whoa.
It's good to have standards. It's good to have standards. It really is. But you gotta, that people, totally.
Absolutely. But ultimately, to answer your question, what I look for, it's kind of like what Dave said. I want someone who's not gonna, I want you to love me at my worst, but want me to be at my best. Yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like,
you gotta love me through everything.
You gotta love me through the good, bad, and the ugly. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And that's hard to find nowadays. Because
that's hard.
It is.
Because nowadays they say, hey, and if the man has to pay for everything, that's like a thing. They say, hey, what should the man pay for? This, that, and the third. And some people feel like, hey, the man shouldn't pay for everything. I actually feel like for me, I feel like as a protector and provider for the man, well, I'm taking care of all basic essentials. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And that's just our livelihood. Yeah. So it's like, hey, if we live in a house, I don't mind paying that. Yeah. I don't mind paying the bills, this and that. But I feel like since I'm doing this, you do have a part to, compensate for it. You know what I mean? So whether it may be whatever you want to do, I just can't do everything on my own because then I'll feel like I'm taken for granted.
Ow, that's a huge thing.
You know what I mean? And you could be with your rightful person, but if you feel like you're taken for granted, oh, I'm paying for this, I'm paying for that, and then, you come home one day and she say, fix your own plate. Like, man, you been home 5 hours, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Help me out.
There's got to be, once again, that goes back to the 80-20. Like,
give and take,
It's okay if it can't be always, but there's going to be point in times when the other person might be giving more. And that's okay
Emotionally, financially, there's more than, there's so much
It could be
there
so
to it.
many
Yeah.
different things that could be given. You could be financially 50-50, but you're emotionally, she's giving you more. It could be 80-20. She's giving you all of her heart and time and everything like that, but you might be there. You feel like you're giving her the physical, so you might be feeling like you're giving her 60-40. It's about finding a common ground and being able to understand. The big thing also is being able to talk about those things.
I was just
and
about to say
respect
that.
Communication.
I was just about to say that.
Communication is key for anything.
Oh
that's
my
important.
gosh.
I love communication. Like, talk me to my ears off. Where I'm like, hey man, like I want to know. I feel like to test or to really know somebody, let them know when you're on your down times.
And
like when you feel down. That way, if the right person, if they can bring you back up or get or
at
inspire
least just
you,
understand or comfort you, or just you're gonna and also with every trial you need a different response, you know what I mean, type of thing. But as long as they're like, people are communicate and work with you, and if you're like, hey, this is kind of how I'm feeling, and they're like, I don't really care, oh well, then the next time that you feel like that, then I'm not really gonna care. That's you know what I mean. So it's really about caring for that person and making sure that you're meeting what they need at that time, kind of thing. Yeah,
exactly.
And communication is the basis of that. I think most relationships suffer because of communication.
Man, jobs suffer.
Friendships, and I mean relationship as in friendship. Mother, father, every type of different thing. Yeah.
Communication rules the nation.
Yeah.
Like,
even we went yesterday. We had our ceremony here, a little ceremony, and then we went out to dinner, and like there was a miscommunication on how many number of seats, and me and the girl were kind of attitude towards each other, and then Dave steps in, and everything's good, and now we're in the best thing. We have.
Hey, Dave said, "Hold on.
Yeah,
this is my wife right here.
Yeah.
We gonna have this. This is gonna
she
be
had
the
a
way
little
I want it.
Yeah.
You know."
Man.
But it's just, and I also wasn't being the nicest, just because I was like, you came at me with attitude,
and it's your day.
Yeah, and like I matched your attitude, and so then it was just like that. But it's just again communication. We both, me and that host, both could have handled that a little bit better, type of thing.
Absolutely.
The best part about it, though, at the end of the day was that we were able to find a common ground and really be able to take care of each other, which I thought was really important. But just being able to step in and understand when, things are actually kind of getting out of hand, and knowing your partner. You got to know your partner. Yeah. I knew she was getting frustrated. I knew this was upsetting her. Hey, you know what? Let me come in here. Let's play a little good cop, bad cop. You got the bad cop moment. Let me come in here and just, hey, how's it going? Listen, what we got to do? Yeah. We understand it was our fault. We brought extra people. Hey, what's going on? What can we do? Yeah. What can we do to make this work? Yeah. Everyone's just trying to be happy. You guys are trying to make this easy. We're trying to make it easy. What's good?
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, it's just about knowing your partner. We had a great time. The hostess was super nice after that. Yeah. Very careful, very caring. Make sure we were taken care of. It's all good. But just knowing your partner.
Knowing your
You know
partner.
what I'm saying? Because she's usually the sweetest one, and I'm usually the one who's hot first.
Oh, you're the demon.
Yeah, I'm a demon. I'm usually
you already
the one
know.
where it gets going.
I
I get things jumping with me.
All right, no, Dave. I be having to look at Dave. I'm like, Dave, bring it back in.
Boy, I be in that thing.
Heated.
But you talk.
What doesn't make you more mad than your 9 to 5 though? Come on. I just know. I know. And back to, not to bring it back, but back to building. I also know for a fact, as grateful as I am for my job that I do have today, I am so grateful for that paycheck every 2 weeks. I'm grateful for where it's brought me. I'm grateful for it all. But I want to be an entrepreneur for sure. And I do feel like that. Like at my job, I feel like I'm not. Because corporate America.
Oh,
we all know corporate
That's
America.
True. I feel like true power is somewhat control of your own destiny. You know what I mean?
I agree with that.
No one can tell you what to do.
They can't tell you what to do. They can't take anything from you because you earned it. When someone gives you something, they can take it away. But when you earn it, you know what I'm saying? That's yours.
Facts.
Shout out Deion Sanders. I got that from
Yeah.
I seen that on your Instagram.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I seen it on his Instagram. I had to throw it on there.
Well, that's smooth. Hey, let's transition a little bit. I do want to get a little bit into your building, okay? So you build your first table, right? And let me ask you, how did that make you feel when you built your first table?
Oh, you know how it made me feel, baby.
I don't know.
Okay.
I
This is for the
felt
podcast.
so powerful. Like, I felt like I could do, like, when I had that power tool and it came together, y'all, it may look nice. It is not perfect. That is not a perfect table. It may not even be level. It's pretty level, but it may not even be perfect. But you feel so powerful when you see this stuff. I think anyone can feel that way. If you see something, like, you see this stuff being sold for so much and you don't think you can do that. And then once you actually do it, oh my gosh, I felt so cool. I felt so powerful. I actually still have pictures that I was sending to my mom and like how excited I was. And everyone was just like, this is the coolest thing ever. And at that time and still even now, you don't see a lot of women doing that. So people are very cool.
Of men doing that.
But
I
people
know
in my
dudes who can't change a flat on their car.
Yeah. I know, and
You know what
that's
I mean?
true.
Yeah.
And
Like my boy called me the other day. He was like, "Bro, I got a flat." You know what I'm saying? Like, I had to tell him like, "Hey, bro, go get the jack."
Yeah, I had to walk him through it.
You know
I've had to walk
like,
people through changing their tires.
Absolutely. But
that's but everyone, what's really cool I have to say with my building is that my whole life I never thought I was creative. I couldn't draw to save my life. I couldn't paint. I don't know. I barely know what colors go together. Like, I just was. In my whole life, I was kind of just told, like, I was the sports person. I wasn't creative. Like, that's kind of how my brain did it. Like, you were either, like, sports-like or you were creative.
yeah,
I realized that I do believe everybody has creativity. It's just how to bring it out.
Yep.
Mine came out in building. Other people's come out in beautiful paintings or portraits or anything.
You have to try things.
You do, and it's so scary. Y'all don't even know how scared I was. I don't even think I spent that much money. I borrowed tools. I started with borrowed tools, and I bought a couple of my own tools, but I still spent like a couple $100. That table was like $3,000 or $4,000. I maybe spent like $200, but I was still nervous. These power tools, these saws, but like then you try it. I'm sure it's the same thing. Like, people dancing for the first time, they don't think they can do it, and then it's like it's a beautiful thing.
It's so satisfying seeing your thoughts come to reality.
Yeah. And you have, but like as an adult, I do feel, especially like maybe our age or whatever, it's like we were always kind of told like, oh, you try something and maybe if you're not good at it, like just whatever. You try it and like try different things. And I feel like as adults, like taking different classes, and it's nerve-wracking, man. I get it. Even going to a new workout class is nerve-wracking, new people, all that. But once you try it, y'all, this is now my passion. This is what brings me life. This is where I talk to God the most and I hear him the most. And now I hear him in all different parts of my life. Like, it is crazy that I felt like this is now my purpose in life. I always felt like I was meant to be here to make people happy. Just like my whole life, I've kind of just been that more bubbly person. And the world's tried to shut me down and it's come back up and, things like that. But I feel like this is like my purpose.
No,
whichever way it is, whether I'm selling my pieces on Instagram, whatever it is, I feel like it is my purpose.
And to go back to about the bed that you built. Like, and you said that's the most viral thing, that you posted, and it went viral.
I think it had like over 30 million views on all the videos.
And the most the highest human act is to inspire.
That's my thing is I want people to I want women. Sorry, I do want everybody, but I do want women to come to my page, men to come to my page, and feel like, if she can do that, I can do that. Yep. But whether I do want to inspire in woodworking or DIY or interior design, whatever it is, but what I really want to inspire is just to show women that if I can do this, you can do anything. Like, I did not grow up with this. My dad did not do this. My mom did not do this. Like, this is something that at 29 years old, I just picked up. And so it is never too late to start that passion or start that thing or whatever it is. So that's what I truly believe is that I want my page to inspire you to do whatever you want. I hope it inspires you to build and do DIY, but I also just hope it brings you and be like, if she can do that, then I can do this crochet thing that I want to do, or I can do this sports thing I want to something like that. And my favorite messages, I do love when people send me their builds and stuff, but my favorite messages are like, you've inspired me to, like, I didn't think women could do stuff. It's like, women, I love y'all. I love you men. Can't live without them. But women are freaking cool. We are powerful and we can do a lot of stuff.
Women are powerful beyond measure.
Women are the strongest of all time. They've always been. They've always been stronger than men. You know what I'm saying? Without women, we would be nothing. So that's why I always think it's super imperative that women stay strong. I do. I always say it. I can't stand a weak woman. Someone who can't try to put on. Just understand if you can't do certain things.
No,
I get it.
I can't do.
But
you should watch me try to dance.
To do it. I can't rock with you.
I like these little old sayings because it's like the person who says I can and I can't, they're both telling the truth.
They're both right.
They're both right.
They're both right.
And I'll bring it back to it again. It's a mindset thing. If I've learned anything in my 31 years of life, in anything in life, you can make an average day be the best day of your life just by your mindset. Yep. Just by being grateful for everything you have. I should probably end it on this, but I'll just say it now. My biggest key point in life, 1 is God, 2 is gratitude. If you can be grateful for everything, this moment right now, we won't have this again. Yeah. Little things like that. We take life for granted. We as human beings take everything for granted. Because you can find something special in every moment. In the worst moments, you can find something special. Absolutely. I truly believe that. There's a really cool book that I actually love. It's called The Magic. It's the same writer from The Secret. And it is a 28-day gratitude practice. Okay. And each day it has you do a different gratitude practice and just some different habits to do. And I just did a giveaway. I'm sending a couple people that book because I believe in it so much. It truly changed my life. Gratitude is such a beautiful thing.
It is.
It really is. Because once you're grateful for everything, it will bring more. The law of attraction, as if you are grateful for more, it will bring more into your life. And even if it brings that, like you said, an average day, it could just be, we're just sitting on the couch having a podcast. No, we're with amazing people. I'm so grateful for Des, for Dave. It's just so many different things that you can be grateful for. You don't realize it until you practice gratitude daily. And Absolutely. you can be grateful for the most mundane things. You can see gratitude in a bad situation. When you can see gratitude in a bad situation, that is a game changer in my eyes.
Yeah, making things change.
Because I say, when people say they get L's, it's not a loss. You didn't lose. It's a lesson.
It's a lesson.
You got the L. It's a lesson.
It's a lesson. You know what I'm saying? Because the more L's you get, the more lessons you get better.
I think my favorite thing is what I did is instead of saying, why is this happening to me? I said, what is this teaching me? And that's probably been the biggest mind shift. Because that will, instead of being the victim, you're now trying to learn from it and grow from it.
That way it doesn't happen again. And if you do see it, you know how to, either, avoid that situation from happening again or how to deal with it.
Oh, exactly. Because even if you're in a situation, like there's something, one time I got an oil change, went 5 minutes down the road, my car's burning up. I'm like, what is going on? I had to pull over. Ended up, they didn't put the filter on right or something silly, right?
They broke the rubber gasket.
They had broke the rubber gasket on something, right? But I could have lost it. I could have done this, whatever. I went to God. I was like, you know what? What is this teaching me? Show me this. Guess what? Instead of it being a 2-week-long process like it was supposed to, they fixed it that night.
Make each other better.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but you have to have, you have to have that mindset because there's a lot of. I do think of Dave and I think we both do because we've talked about this. We're a team. Mm-hmm. Even before we were married, we were a team. So it's like some of the best advice I've gotten is like, when you're in a fight, you always want to be right, huh? You want to say the best thing. You want to win, right? But when you're in you're a team. So him winning is also you winning, and you winning is also him winning. So that's more. It's more approachable because we both are stubborn and we're both competitive. We both want to be the ones that are right. We both want to be the ones that are told we're right. But when we think of it as like we're a team effort, well then we're both winning. Like, okay, well when you understand and I understand, then we're winning, and that kind of thing. And I think that's a huge thing.
I think that is true.
Because we all want to be independent. We're very independent too, but you got to come back and be a team. Otherwise, you're always going to be wanting to win and wanting to be the one-upping.
I understand that.
Yeah,
I agree with that. I agree with that heavily too. When you stop worrying about who's the winner and understand what's the goal, what's the goal. Yeah, that's the important part. That's when you guys are at a different level now.
I agree with that.
You guys are on a level of understanding and being better for each other.
And I just have to say it to everybody, Dave and I have been with each other for 6 years. Like, those 6 years, we battled out of that. So like, it's cool to come out and say this. And I always felt like I'd hear couples say that and I'd be like, yeah, that's great for you now, but I'm in the middle of my war. And that you're going to be in the middle of your war, but you gotta be okay to know that you're going to come together and come out of that. Exactly. and what your goal is coming out of that. But like, don't think that we're giving you this advice and we're the most perfect people. Everybody knows that we are not, but we've grown to be able to kind of get to this point. Mm-hmm. And you
That's
still
very
go
true.
backwards sometimes, but then you come back and you got to make sure we have
That's where
the
the
same
growth
goal.
comes in.
That's where the growth
trials
comes in.
and tribulations. Trials and tribulations come in every shape and form.
I
Especially
agree.
when you guys have something good. I feel like the trials become harder.
Yeah.
Because
I do.
you could be going good for a long time, and there could be something that just knocks you off your course. And it's like, okay, do I get back on course? Do we let this affect us forever? Do we go down this path and go deeper and deeper and deeper until we're just stuck?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You
And-
got to be able
yeah.
to find your way back to the path that you guys both want to be on.
Yeah.
And that's important, I feel like.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
And I'm not telling anyone to settle or anything like that, but one thing that was a really good advice for me too is what you're facing in this relationship. If you end this relationship, you're gonna face it in the next relationship, unless unless you fix that thing, but you like
it's gonna come up again.
It's the grass is greener again.
Yep.
Like to reiterate that one more time is that you are gonna say like, oh well, when I'm with this next person or something. No, that issue is gonna come up again. And do you want to fight it now?
Because
or
that
do you wanna
person
fight
could have been the common denominator. You know what I'm saying? Of why all the relationships haven't worked, and it's like, yo, it's gonna come up again because you haven't changed what you've done. You know what I mean? You haven't changed either your mindset or, like you said, you're a team. So you have to understand a win for her is a win for me.
Of course.
That's
You know
huge.
what
I also think that past relationships do help you understand more about yourself, and it also helps you be better for the next person. The thing is, you always talk about growth, and that's also included in relationships.
Yep.
I feel like every relationship that I had before this has prepared me to be the man that she's marrying today.
Yeah.
Whether it was good or bad, whether I learned the bad about myself, whether I learned the good about myself, either way, it's prepared me to be the best me that she can see.
Yeah.
She's gonna get the best version of me every time because of the things I've went through and vice versa.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's hard to talk to somebody about trials when they've never been through it. It'd be hard for me to talk to you about how hard it is to be an athlete if you've never been one. It's not impossible.
No,
I'm not
but-
saying I'm
No,
never
it's
gonna
not
say
impossible.
It's just hard to relate.
But it's very hard to relate. It's hard to relate to say, hey, I've been through tough times when you've never been through.
Mm-hmm. That's like going to like a marriage counselor. He ain't never been married.
See that? Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So
That-
I do think that there's a lot of trials and tribulation that goes through life, but I feel like how you handle it and the experiences that you've had before will help you propel, or it'll be a learning. Like I said, else, but you learn a lesson that will help you in the next life or in the next situation that can keep you going forward and keep you in better. Hey, I handled this very aggressive, very wrong. This time I'm gonna come at it a different approach.
Yeah.
Or you could be stubborn and you keep making the same mistakes and you're still gonna get the same results.
Mm-hmm.
You'll figure it out. People who are saying, "Man, why do I keep getting the same?" I think it's so funny. You hear it all the time. I just attracted to the same person. I do the same thing. He does the same thing. She does the same thing. It's like, well, maybe the person that you like, they could be similar. Yeah. Maybe you're doing the same thing.
Okay.
Or maybe you are attracted to, like, that could be like,
It
or you
could
have
be,
a
but
trauma or
maybe
a
you're
thing
doing the
that
same thing. I don't feel like anybody is the exact same.
No.
I feel like everybody has some differences. They could be very similar,
Okay.
but I truly believe that you could be attracted to a style of person or the way that they are and everything like that, but every person is different. But if you handle situations, because this is the thing, whether you date somebody who's kind of the same or date somebody who's completely different, the situations are still going to be the same. Everyone has the same situations, I feel like, in the sense of like trouble with love, trouble with trust, trouble with different things. How do you handle those situations?
Okay. I have a question with trust. Okay. And this is a good question. Maybe y'all can help people, in general, being in an interracial relationship. Have y'all had any like experiences where y'all had to overcome any situations, being, like blackballed or anything like that? You know what I'm saying?
Well, where we went to college was literally, and I love the Bible, but I mean Bible thumping in not a good way, where they're the judgmental kind and they are that. And like we've left restaurants because they just wouldn't stop staring. That's how like behind the times Monroe still is, where we went to college. So we dealt with that so much. And we actually feel really blessed to be in Dallas now because we see people like us all the time. Like I personally don't think anything of it, of an interracial couple, but other people do. And they would just stare at it to the point where we have left restaurants in Monroe.
Well, yeah, just the difference between Dallas and Monroe is just night and day. Monroe is is I always say people I love Louisiana, but certain places in Louisiana, quit looking at the camera. It's good. I see you looking at it. Quit looking at it. So I say that Monroe is like behind like probably 50 years.
50?
So they're still stuck in
It
that
is behind the times.
I'd say about 50. When we went
Not
there,
everybody.
when we
Not
went there
everybody.
in 2014, everything, it was like you were back in the 70s and 80s. It just was like it was very segregated. You could feel the segregation. You could feel the racism. You could feel the tension and everything like that. It wasn't with everybody. Everyone was always different. But you could tell that there was a divide. And coming from Dallas, where I went to Plano, like I said before, where I met literally every type of person, I'm not that type of person. I can walk up to an old white woman and have the greatest conversation. We have a nice conversation. I don't see anything like that. But a lot of people down there, it would be weird. It'd be different if you're talking to a different race or you're getting close to a different race, especially to be dating somebody of a different race.
Would you say that brought y'all closer together?
It had to.
Okay.
It had to, because that's the thing. That type of stuff could. Some people, they'll oppose it and they'll be like, "Oh, I can't date."
Because they care about outsiders and what they think.
I grew up where it was like, you're dating someone because you like them, you date them because you love them, and everything like that. You don't date them because of their. I believe that you date people off of who they are, not because of the color of their skin or who they are and everything like that. My parents taught me that. The person you love may not be the person that cares for you the most may not be the person that looks the most like you. I tell people this all the time. I have, not everybody, but I've had white and Asian and Hispanic people take care of me like that I was their family and treat me like I was their son and their uncle, their kid, and everything like that. I've had black people do me the dirtiest. It ain't about your color, bro.
It's the character.
It's the character that you hold within yourself. I've had, and I've vice versa. I've had people do me dirty that are opposite race from me. I've had people that were black. Show me some love. You know what I'm saying? It's about who you are as a person. I look past the color and everything like that.
I feel like love shouldn't have any limitations, because I never forget my granny once told me, she was like, "Hey man, we don't care who you bring home. Love who loves you. If someone loves you, love that person back if you love them. You know what I mean? Don't care what other people say on the, whether it be social media or family. You know what I'm saying?
That's the lust that speaks.
Okay. Absolutely.
A lot of people think of the lust and think of the, what do you call it?
I'm looking at you.
I thought you were looking at the camera again.
Oh, God. I was.
It's okay. This would be good bloopers in there. We're going to keep this shit in here.
We're going to shoot it.
But I truly think that a lot of the stuff that comes through, like, it's about your character, who you are as a person, how you grew up and everything like that. I had some of the country. Me and Maddie have had some of the country's friends in Monroe that are from Monroe, and they so country and this and that, and they love us to death.
Yeah, but then I've had friends. I had to have friends in the water ski world that were like, honestly, just like growing up in Louisiana, and they're like, "Well, how do your parents feel about him being black?" And I was like, "Well, he treats me good. He's a nice guy, so they love him."
Yeah,
that's
that simple.
And that's what's so funny is I would say that to them, and because I'm trying, like, it would be like, I wanted to make them feel dumb. Like, I wanted to be like, well, they really like him. He's a really good guy, and he treats me really, really well. And yeah, so they love him. Why would you? What else? What up? And like, I've had friends be like, "Oh, my grandma would never let me," and I was like, "Oh well, feel sorry for you." And, but
that's
I also,
what you have to do.
and I do understand that there are some people that like their family would truly disown them, but also I think it's part of. It's 2023. I also think we're responsible for, again, I don't know if you're going to teach your grandma who is, maybe in their last little bit of life that
like
you're going to teach them how to, this is okay. But you have to be like, this is who I love and this is what I'm going to do. Like, kind of thing. Like, and kind of show that.
No, absolutely. I agree.
Let me.
Oh.
Very sorry.
No worries. But yeah, so I just, that happened to me a lot, and I kind of liked making them feel dumb.
I like what you said, because that's what it's about. You gotta look past all the the BS that society puts on us, right? Because what did you say? You said he treats me good, he loves me, I'm happy. What else is there to think about? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And that's what it should be.
And I grew up in Canada where like that just isn't a thing. Like that type of thing. Like it's just like I personally feel like Canadians are very much more accepting than maybe Americans. Is whatever, especially like the racism part. I did not deal with that until I came down here. I did not know.
Really?
Me and my roommate actually in college, Janice, were both from Canada, and we were not understanding like when I started dating
what
Dave
is
or
this?
whatever, that like we didn't understand the comments we were getting. Like and even Janice would even make comments for me. She'd be like, "Why would you even say that to some of our friends that said like, oh, like what do your parents think of that or things like that?" We just didn't experience that. So that's that's a little bit of naive too. Like in Canada, we just did not deal with that. Oh,
And see, that's
we're a little cracky.
huh?
There we go. We're good.
Yeah. See, I don't think that's a bad thing though. I think and I don't think you meant naive like oh like no one's gonna be like that, but I think that like that's how it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
And the people around us, there's so many people that fight over.
They're the ones who's thrown off.
Yeah, they're the ones who are in the wrong, and it's so like messed up because, like I tell people, it's like you don't have to. Like a lot of people think, oh, only white people are racist. No, there are other. So I've felt racism from Asian, from Hispanic, from other black people who felt like they were in a different class, from other black people who feel like I'm not black enough. I felt it from every race. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to be. There's racist black people.
Absolutely.
There's racist Asian people. There's racist Hispanic. There's lots of people that are judgmental to the stigma that you put on. We joked about it and we talked about it off stream and talked about how our names were. My name is David McCammon-Griffith. You know what I'm saying? Most people, when they see my name, they don't think that it's a black person. And you hear me on the phone, and you definitely don't think from the stigma that they give. I don't sound like a black person.
No,
then
absolutely.
You meet me, I'm a 6'3" black dude with dreads and tattoos.
Yeah,
like,
you know a whole other David Griffith. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So exactly. So you're absolutely right. You're absolutely.
And you know what's funny too? Like just as myself, like I had to learn this. Dave would be like, I love my name. And I was like, well, I love your name too, but like, I don't get it. He's like, but I will go to an interview and people will actually like, let me, like, they will see my name and think it's a white name, or they'll hear me and think I'm white and things like that. And I'm like, I've never had to think of that. Like, that's so crazy to me that like your name, it's crazy.
I think of that because I feel like, bro, when you see Desmond, they know. They're like, okay. I know what I'm trying to get.
I know who he is.
I know who he is. Let's see what he's about.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
We're gonna give him a chance.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just quite crazy. Like, just even people always say, "Oh, isn't Canada so different?" It really isn't. Like, it is a line in a imaginary line in the sand where northern, it's very similar to Canada. Like, if you live in the north, you're gonna be exactly the same as Canada. But the different like.
Culture and thought process. The culture
is
different. Even my dad, he's a truck driver, and he used to like go to Canada, and he was like, "Bro, it's different how the culture is, how they think."
It is. It really is.
They don't look at certain things of how we do in America.
No, it's true. Like I like to say, like it really isn't a lot different in the fact of you're gonna get similar food, similar landscape, especially to like North of America, like New York and all that kind of stuff. It's gonna be the exact same, different from down here for sure. But it is different in the mindset and stuff. Like even we also, like where I grew up, we had a lot of like Chinese and stuff like that. But in my 3,500 school of my high school, we had 2 black people. And they were both adopted. One of them was one of my best friends, and she was adopted, and it was a lot different. Like Dave and I have talked about, like it just was a lot different than down here. But like, it's crazy how maybe even if it isn't very prevalent, they were still so accepting. Like my mom, funny story about my mom because we love my mom.
Shout out to Mama.
Shout out to Mama. When she brought me down to Monroe and brought me into my dorm, she made such a funny comment. I'm just gonna say it. She's gonna be embarrassed, but it's so funny. We were walking and she goes, Maddie, there are so many cute African American guys. She said African American guys. She goes, that they're just so beautiful. And I was like, yeah, Mom, they really are. But like,
so I love her, Mom.
I thought nothing of it. Like, how funny is that? But my mom just like, she was like enamored. She thought y'all were so beautiful. And even like when she first met his sisters, she did not stop talking about them for a week. I'm not joking. Like she thought they were the most beautiful and like everything like that. It's just, it's so funny. And like, she's the most innocent. Shout out Mama. She is the best. But like just that small comment, like just like it, would just show like, well, my mom's very accepting of everything, but that's just like Canadians. Like we are a lot more accepting, but we have our flaws too. We'll be nice to your face and then like a jerk behind your back. Like it's very common in Canada.
Yeah, but I mean, that's just
that's
how
like
people
that's just
That's just how people are.
You got Americans that do the same.
That's not a Canadian thing. That's everybody.
That's a world
thing.
thing, isn't it? Yeah. But
you go to the hood. It's I love you, man.
Yeah. Screw him. Yeah.
I hate that dude.
Yeah,
bro.
exactly.
Stupid ass.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, no, facts.
Okay. So let me ask you this question. This would be a good one. Which one were you more excited or proud of? Winning your 4th ski championship or making the debut?
The 4th?
The 4th.
That's a bad one to choose.
Or any championship.
What's your favorite? Your favorite's your second, right?
No, my favorite was probably my first because I think I skied the best, and I shocked myself. And then Dr. Bruno happened to be there when I was skiing, and we all got a picture, and it was all a moment, and it was a thing. Honestly, though, I have to say, so skiing was such a big part of my life. I got through college with it. It paid for a lot of my college. I am so grateful for it, but I don't ski anymore. I still have my ski. I still do all of that, but like I am now more proud of all of my builds than I am of any of my accomplishments in skiing. Mm-hmm. And that's just because I think it's building is mine. Like I don't mean to sound that as selfish, but it's like skiing was a lot as like making my dad proud and stuff like that as well, where this is making me proud. And I think that's a different part of life. It's a different like proud. When you're trying to make someone else proud. Yeah, and I love skiing, but I will say I skied a lot for my dad. My dad like maybe lived a little vicariously through me. We were a typical daughter,
and I feel like it's like that with a lot of athletes.
It is,
because, especially if you're good,
and especially if your parent is your coach. That's a whole different level. If we want to talk about different level, having your parent as your coach is a whole different level.
How was that?
Oh my gosh, I threw shoes at him. There is a funny story about me throwing a sandal at him. That's how mad I was.
Let's hear that story. Did you feel like you had to be the best because your dad was your coach?
No, I do feel like he put, I'm going to be completely like transparent as I always am. I do feel like he put pressure on me that I maybe wouldn't have even put on myself type of thing, or like that type of stuff. I do feel like sometimes, not in college, but like before that, I skied because of him, like because I knew he really wanted that, and I loved it. But I was a little bit skiing for him. I probably would have quit sooner, but also if I would have quit sooner, I wouldn't have went to ULM. And I would like the things would, I truly believe, I'm a person where I'm a believer of everything happens for a reason. Mm-hmm. So I do believe like I skied until I was supposed to. And
absolutely.
Now
because I don't believe in coincidences.
I do not believe in coincidences either.
Everything is aligned.
Yeah. I do agree with that. And I think, and to where you're at right now. And I'm so, as I talk about gratitude, grateful for my water ski career, but I don't really have a need to do it. Like, I don't find a need. I have all my stuff, but I don't find a need to find a lake and go ski. I will go ski. I can't wait to bring Dave to go ski and do all that, but I don't like have that need for it. Where like a build, like I love building now. It's kind of like I say, like it was a time in my life that I loved, but like this is a new time in my life, and I love having a different hobby too that I came up with, and not came up with, but that I started because of me.
I sincerely agree. Like that's like with me in basketball. I haven't hooped in so long, and it's like I haven't hooped since college, and it's like I like business. That's my like I love from the point of constructing a deal and then actually having that deal move forward.
You're a salesman, aren't you?
Oh man, what?
Every day. Love that.
Every day.
I love that.
Even today, like I met one of Dave's friends through him, and we finally connected on logistics, and I ran a load for him earlier. You know what I mean? Like
I love
that type of thing with my transit business. You know, like man, that's
no, and to touch on that too.
I love money.
I love.
Shout out to Hunt.
Yeah, hey Hunter. No Limit Seafood. If you're in Louisiana, no limit Seafood. They
Shout out.
They have the best. Was it crawfish?
Yeah.
Best crawfish.
Oysters.
Yeah.
I'm trying to tell you, man.
No Limit Seafood. Get on that.
Big shout out to No Limit Seafood.
Big shout out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I gotta get about this show.
Yeah. No, facts. I told him earlier.
To touch on that, that's really funny that you know Hunter. Oh man, we have some funny stories about Hunter. But to touch on that too, like that once you get older too, that multiple streams of income, that's a beautiful thing. And that's we always talk about, Dave and I will always talk about that, about like what they didn't teach you in school. And just like there's so much that we learned in school that we don't even, I can't tell you the Pythagorean theorem. I can't tell you stuff that we did. They didn't teach us how to do our taxes or how to.
Do you want to know my theory?
Not
to cut you off.
No, I don't.
My theory is, and we're going to multiple streams of income. You don't find out what you truly love until you don't have that burden of trying to think, how am I going to pay for this? How am I going to pay for this? How am I going to pay for this? You find out what you truly love to do whenever, that burden is taken care of. So what passive income does for me is like, I finally found out what I love to do. And that's like, I'm a salesman. You know what I mean? I love constructing a deal. I love, making something, I love creating something out of nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, and if we weren't, we're blessed enough to, go to college and, have good
Very
corporate
blessed.
jobs to, live the life we want to live.
Facts.
And then, manifest anything, that we really want to do.
Most definitely.
You know what I mean? Like, you love cars, Dave. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? I love cars. You love to build. You know what I mean? And here's another question.
Yeah.
Do you love building more or interior decorating more?
I actually have to say I like building more. I actually love the building part more than the finishing part, like the staining, sanding. I like to build it.
Okay.
I like someone to come to me and be like, I like this, and I'm not good at puzzles, but I think I'll build like a puzzle. Mm-hmm. So I'll see like an inspo pic, and I'll like take it apart and be like, okay, how would they have built this? And I take it apart like a puzzle.
That's
in a
how
way,
you truly know
and that's how I put it back together.
If you could take something apart and put it back together, that's how you know.
But again, to bring it back and just to keep I would have never known that, and that was my creativity until I started building. I wasn't good at puzzles. I'm not good at drawing. I'm not good at anything. I'm not good at building Legos. Like I'm not good at that. But when it's different. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, but you find that thing, and I do encourage everyone to find their faith, whatever that may be, whatever you believe in. I think that's beautiful. I personally believe in God, but whatever you want to believe in, the universe, whatever it is, believing in that's next level. And I do believe that will bring your passions to your next level, and that will bring
that higher power.
That higher power. You can believe in your higher self. I would love to, if you want to talk about a relationship with God, come to me. I did not grow up in the church. I did not grow up, but God found his way into my life. So many different. When I was a kid, my neighbor would go to church, invite me. I'd go with them. But like my parents were not. My mom was raised Catholic, but like I was not in the church. But God found his way into my life so many different ways. And finally, as I'm older, I'm like, okay, God, I'm surrendering to you. I get it. But whatever you believe in, I do believe having faith and believing in something is huge.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I agree with that.
Yeah,
you gotta believe in something. You gotta believe that there's something higher than
there
that.
has it. Come on, guys. Do you really think that we are born to go to school, be told what to do at a job? Like, let's think more than this. We're guys. We're not here to live and die. Well, yes, that is what is the 100% what is going to happen. But what you do in that time frame, I truly believe is so important.
So important.
And
what's your footprint?
Yep.
What footprint are you going to leave on this world? Are you going to be just another person, or are you going to be something that creates something better for some other?
And it's not even to create a name for yourself, whether it's to glorify the kingdom or to do that, or to whatever it is to glorify
Most
something.
definitely.
But to have a faith in something is a game changer. It could be faith in gratitude, faith in yourself and your higher power telling you what to do. But once you kind of tap into that, that's a huge game changer for things too.
Absolutely.
But you have to lose yourself to kind of find that. I noticed that.
Ooh, you ain't never lying. You find yourself
at your rock bottom.
At your rock bottom.
At your rock
that's
bottom.
when you're gonna find exactly who you are. Not at your highest peak.
You're gonna find out who you really are when you hit the bottom.
When you hit the bottom.
Everyone goes there. It might not even be for long. Everyone's duration is different. Yours
and it might look different than your neighbor. But
I mean, shout out to Stevie G.
Stevie G
told us about his rock bottom.
Yep.
And the person that he is today is from that. She found her rock bottom. The person that she is today is because of that. You know 100%. What I'm saying? The person I am is because of where I was at the bottom and where I told myself I will never be again.
Yeah.
Same.
You know?
Likewise.
Yeah.
And we might hit we might hit a newer rock. You
might hit a different
you might hit something, but it's how you grow from that, truly.
Yep.
And it might take a while, man. Everyone's trip is gonna be different. Everyone's growth is gonna be different, but it's how you come out of that. It's what do they call the phoenix out of the fire? You know, like what are you gonna do out of that? What are you gonna grow from that? Because everyone gets knocked down. You always think your life is the worst or your situation is the worst.
It's always someone going through exactly what you're going through or worse. You know what I mean? That's how you gotta look at it.
And I'm gonna bring it back. Being grateful even for your lessons or your rock bottom, having gratitude for that, or knowing that when you have that faith that you're gonna come out of that eventually, and you're not gonna feel like it, but when you do get out of that, it's beautiful.
Yeah, man. Man. Hey, you see why I got this one.
Manny, I'm not gonna lie. I've never seen Dave so quiet. Like he was just glaring at you the whole time. Like, man.
I listen. I listen to people who have shit to say.
I knew you were solid. Now the whole world knows you. You know what I'm saying?
No, I'm grateful. I'm grateful to be here. But as I've said, like I had to hit my rock bottom, and I'm still growing. Mm-hmm. I might say these things and forget it in a month, and then you got to find yourself again and just continuing to make sure you're getting better, because we've all been there at our rock bottom, at our worst. You might be going through a breakup, have financial issues or things like that, but just truly read the magic, y'all. Do that 28-day gratitude and tell me how it changes your life. I'm not kidding. I have full faith on that.
For sure. What's next for Made by Maddison?
Solidified next or by dreams? What do you?
I'm talking about what's just the next step, or what's the next thing. It could be something as simple as, hey, I got a build that's in the works that I'm about to start, and it's gonna be fun. Hey, I got some things that I'm planning to do. Rub it on me. I know I'm sexy.
Sorry, I didn't mean to do that.
I'm sexy.
Yeah.
Hey,
well, no, truly, I hope Made by Maddison becomes. I want it to become more than just my Instagram page as it is right now. If you want me to talk goals, I want to be able.
Talk to me everything. What do you feel is your next step?
Where do you see yourself? Because we always ask everybody. What I want to do is, because a lot of people don't look ahead. You know what I mean? Now, granted, everybody has, we see ourselves 10 years from now, 20 years from now, and if, God's will, it'll be that. So where do you see yourself 10 and 20 years from now?
See, I'm not even going to lie. I don't know where I see myself 10 years, but I know that God's going to get me where I need to be. And that's, I used to be that person. I've never been a 5-year, 10-year planner. And I've always felt like I was not good enough because I didn't know my 5-year or 10-year plan. But then I also realized I know where I want to be, but I also feel like I know that if I walk with God every step of the way, that He will bring me to where I need to be, and that I don't have to have a set 5-year, 10-year plan in that type of way where like I'm almost like walking with God and having Him show me that 5-year, 10-year plan. And that's kind of where I am with my faith and kind of where I'm like leaning there. But if I talk about where I would like to be in 5 years, I see myself with a furniture business, Made by Maddison, where I sell my pieces of furniture. I see myself with a warehouse, a beautiful warehouse that I go to every day, and that's my job. And I build beautiful pieces and I sell them. And I work with brands and I get, do those type of different things to make builds for my house for people. I do believe it was kind of crazy as well, and where I a lot of found God was with woodwork. But then as well, He gave me the gift of being able to edit videos. I've never edited a video in my life. Now it's one of my favorite things to do. To watch a video come together, to find that perfect music for it, edit it, have that perfect everything. Watch out for our wedding video coming up. Been editing it today, and it's really, really good. So those type of things. But I truly even have a vision of like having my own truck with a Made by Maddison where I deliver the pieces of furniture. Like I that's where right now, that's my dream and that's my goal. If you would have asked me a year ago though, I would have said social media, and I thought that was. But I feel like sometimes I'm still in my beginning relationships with God. So sometimes as well, I think he's leading me this way, and sometimes maybe he was or wasn't, or maybe that was a step in the road, but I thought it was social media because he gave me all these gifts, but maybe that was to lead to something bigger and something better to glorify the kingdom. So I do think that for myself though, I would love to sell my pieces of furniture. I did have a goal of selling one piece of furniture in the month of April. It is now April 16th and I am not doing very well, but I think that I'm going to do good. It's a nerve-wracking thing to have to sell your piece that you made.
You're
it is.
well on your way because
and I appreciate that.
I've seen, like, when you just told me, I didn't know. I walked past that bed.
Yeah, you've been in there for 5 weeks now.
And I didn't know you made that. Like, when I tell you, like, that's probably, like, that's a gift. If I could like literally take that camera and show the world of this bed that you created, I'm like, what?
But look at that. That's my mindset. I was like, oh, that's not good enough. That's not that. Now people are asking me for the build plan. So that's another thing I want to get into is selling my build plans. Sell that for an affordable price because I'm all about, I want people to be able to access this, right? Like whether they have, whatever. But, sell it for $10, $15. That's been my most asked question since that went viral last June. And it's, where's the build plan? I really want to build this. This is perfect for me and my kids or whatever it is. We're in a small place and it would be great to have that. So I do, so build plans, building my furniture pieces. Where the build plans, that's very passive income, right? Because I do it one time and I can just keep selling them. My pieces, I would love to have my pieces in people's home. It's nerve-wracking as crap to me because my pieces are going to be in someone's home, maybe they put something on it that I wouldn't, or, too heavy. But I think of these pieces that are being sold that are particle board, that are IKEA, and how much people are paying for that. And it's like, I can build something beautiful and custom. And
you can, and you did.
And I did, and I can do it. And so I truly, that's my next goal is to start selling my pieces of furniture. I'm all about multiple streams as well. I have a 9-to-5, but if I could make that my full-time job, that would make me really happy and very fulfilled. That's what God's teaching me through all this as well, is being fulfilled. Where like, it's okay to have a 9-to-5 that you maybe are okay with going to, but like, there's another thing to wake up and be so excited for your day and what you're going to do in the world and what piece you're going to make for that person. And, eventually I'd love to do charity builds as well, where I give away my pieces to people in need or do a room makeover for people in need. And I'm just going to walk with God and see what he wants me to do next and to glorify that. Cause I wouldn't be here without him.
Absolutely.
That's another reason why I love Dave and his family too. They have brought me, not in a forced way, not in any type of way, but they have shown me, especially his mom, God and what they can do and being a child of God and stuff. And we have a cool relationship, me and his mom, and it's based a lot on God too. So, yeah.
No, man, I think that's strong. I think it's strong to have your faith and really use it and help it propel you to be the best person that you can be. That is amazing.
Ruma's talking. Okay. But, I'm on day 10 of learning to read the Bible. Like, I don't even know that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, like, but I hope that gives people hope to, like, you don't have to grow up in the church or grow up in that to grow in your faith and to have that type of thing. Like, it's a beautiful thing to, actually, Dave's the ones that taught me that it's cooler to have a relationship with God that doesn't just revolve around being somewhere on Sunday. To be in a relationship with him every single day and not just a time on Sunday. Talking to him daily.
Sunday through Monday.
Through Monday.
Yep.
Yeah.
Every minute of every day.
I think that's important too.
I think that's very important.
I think everybody's relationship is so different. I don't think you gotta grow up in the church to have a good relationship with God. I don't think you have to go to church every Sunday. I think it helps you. I think hearing other people's word may guide you and help you through something. I think using church as a guiding tool to help you when you're lost is very important. I don't think that it's necessary every time that's the only way you're gonna find God is through church or through wherever you go or something like that. I feel like sometimes putting you through a situation and growing out of it will help you out.
Say that to give people hope. Like a lot of people think, oh well, they only have a relationship with God because they grew up in the church and things like that. No, I think it's beautiful to have that, or and I'm not a pushy person. I'm not saying, but like whatever you believe, to believe in something higher than yourself is a beautiful thing. I do think. And will lead you to beautiful things.
True.
Yeah.
What is something that you're going to be happy to see yourself do by the end of this year?
By the end of this year?
Yeah. Like, is there something like, hey, I really want to do this. I really want to propel this way, or hey, I really want to touch on this, things like that. And I got another question after this. After you
No,
answer this,
as long as I keep inspiring and just keep pushing and being me and truly just be myself, I'll always be happy with that about where I'm at. By the end of this year, I would like to be consistently selling my pieces and getting over that nerve wracking of selling your pieces. Another thing I really want to get into, I want to build some party rentals and rent out some of those. I have some different ideas, to rent out for wedding venues now that we're planning a wedding and stuff like that. Different stuff like that. That's cool. Like, champagne holders or things like that. I have some cool ideas for some party rentals and stuff like that.
Oh,
but
that's really cool.
But by the end of this year, but by the end of this year, I do hope that I have a steady multiple streams of income. I said this at the beginning of last year too. I wanted to quit my 9 to 5, and I think if you're close to me in any range, you know that for a fact that I would love to become an entrepreneur. So I would love that by the end of the year, and I think even if I set that goal and maybe I fly just short of it, at least it's cool to have I always used to think I don't want to set those goals and then not reach them. But I've actually realized it's cool to set the goal, and even if you don't reach it, you're going to be farther than where you're at. If you didn't set that goal, you're going to just always kind of be like where you're at.
Because if you keep going, you're closer to your goal than it is to turn back. You know what I mean?
What does it say?
That's a blessing itself.
Shoot for the stars and land on the moon, or whatever.
Aim for the moon and reach your amongst the stars.
Yes, there you go. So it's so true though, but that it's such a thing. It's another mindset thing. Like, it holds you back. You're like, oh, I'm not going to reach that. What if I don't reach that goal? What if you do? Or what if you fall just short of that? That's so cool too.
What if you have so many orders, then you're like, oh my gosh, overwhelmed. That's a blessing itself. Like, I got 200 pieces I got to create. Cool.
Yeah.
Let's get to work.
Let's get it.
You know what I mean?
Totally.
So, nah, you're absolutely right.
Yeah, no,
you're on your way. Like, I'm trying to tell you, like, it's inevitable.
There's a couple things,
point.
I just got to get over
It's
again with my own self, getting over myself, being like, knowing I'm worth it, and that my pieces are worth it, so 50 people can tell me that, but I have to know that. And I think that will just come with, it's the same thing, like, if I wouldn't have started building, I wouldn't have known how to build that bed at that point, right? Because I couldn't have started with that bed, but it's cool to work up to that.
Absolutely.
And that's what it's teaching me a lot too, is like, just start something. You might not, you're gonna suck at the beginning.
We're always ourselves as our biggest critic.
Facts.
Really is.
You know what I'm saying? We're our biggest critic. I'm pretty sure, Dave had hell of a games where he, got so many tackles and this and that, and he's looking at the film like, nah, bro.
Shit.
I was looking like ass. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, bro, I wish I had 18 tackles in one game.
Yeah, something
you know
like
what I'm
that.
saying?
Facts.
Something like that. You feel me?
No, for real.
I remember that game though. You told me you had like so many tackles, dog.
There was some games like that, but I know what you mean by that.
Yeah.
Like, it could look good for someone who may not know or something like that, but for the most part, you have to be happy with the work that you put out yourself. And if you're not, it doesn't matter what anyone thinks about it. It's about what you feel and what you think about it. That's going to be the deciding factor on how you feel and what you want to do with it from there on.
And that's a big key thing too, because I'm a recovering people pleaser, still struggle with it. But when you start living for yourself and what maybe you would like to see more, and like stop worrying about what is so and so good. You know what's funny, y'all? And I have to say this because we were talking about it. I almost didn't start Made by Maddison because I was nervous of what some people from college were going to think of me. Guess what? Those people don't even follow me. They probably don't even know that I have a second account that has that or does that. And that's it's so funny that I almost didn't start because of this one group of people and how I thought they were going to, and they could have let them talk in their group chat about me. Like, that's great. Yeah. But that's almost held me back from starting. And it's so funny how we can let other people's opinions, they don't pay your bills. They're not going to do anything. Let them talk crap about you.
When them Rackies come in, now they looking like, oh, wow. Oh, like, I didn't know. That's when everybody wants to say, oh, I knew you would do this. Yeah. I knew you would be. You didn't know that.
You didn't.
No, man. But it's
But we're so worried about what
Yeah.
other us as humans.
Yeah.
We're worried, and I'm the worst of them. Is worried what other people will think of you. But when you get over that, and I'll go through phases where I'm good at it and then not. But it's like when you're on a phase of not, or when you're actually over not. Oh my gosh.
You gotta have that
You
point
have
where you
that
say
breakthrough.
F it. Like I don't care what
I
no
don't
one thinks because I
care.
care. I know I like this, and if you
Yeah.
like it, like
And
I
you're
said,
so much more important than them.
well, and it's crazy because if you really think about it, how we just said, whatever you're going through in life, someone else is going through that. If you like something, 10 times out of 10, someone else is gonna like it
Yep.
too.
Yeah.
So
Most definitely.
that's what people have to take into context. Like,
I
bro,
agree.
if you like something, someone else is gonna like that. I like this bottle of wine. Someone else probably likes this bottle of wine.
Yeah.
I like that daybed. I didn't know 100,000 people were gonna start following me because they like that daybed.
I didn't know you made that day bed. I was
Yeah.
really gonna ask Dave last one. I was like, bro, where you get that from, bro? Like,
And it's convenient.
That's hard right
It
there.
is so
Facts, bro.
convenient. And I have to say, one of my biggest things that I love about DIY is being able to customize it. Like, not only just for your space or whatever, but like I could have bought that bed from IKEA, but it would have been those square things. It would have been like
Yeah.
whatever. But I got to like build it and customize it to work for exactly for us, that's one of my favorite things about it.
So I know we touched on it a little bit, but let's talk about a little bit about insecurities. Talk about what would you tell someone who's probably battling with the same thing that you just talked about? Because there's someone out there, like we say, there's a lot of people that go out there and everything, and there's a lot of people that like the same things. What would you say to someone who's probably insecure and worried about what people are thinking right now, and they want to start something? What advice would you give them right then?
I would give them the advice that I would say, and I'm being so truthful, is people care so much more about themselves and less about you than you think they do. You think people are over there talking crap, doing that. People care so much more about themselves, and they're so much more wrapped up about themselves than they really ever. Let's be honest. When we take a group photo, who are you looking at to make sure that the photo looks good? When you say, "Oh, I like that photo," who are you looking at?
That's yourself.
You're looking at yourself. And that is how everyone is. And we're all so nervous. And I almost didn't start it because of a group of college girls where maybe you know what I mean? Maybe at one point they're like, "Oh my gosh, Maddie, like look at what Maddie's doing now. Like look at that." And I almost didn't stop because of you. Like just truly, like you think people care about you, and they do. They care about you, but they don't care like you do. And guess what? When people talk crap, that says so much more about themselves than it ever will about you. If I could scream that to myself as a kid, I would. Like, people talk, even I notice myself when if I get into a gossipy mood, I'm like, oh, that's an insecurity I have with myself. Like, I'm talking crap about them because I'm jealous or whatever about what they have or something like that. And I have to check myself. And I'm like, oh, you're right, I see that. And it's like that's what's brought me. It's like
that's human nature.
Yeah.
For sure.
But truly, like we think everyone cares. Oh, everyone's gonna be that. They're probably like, oh, that's so cool and whatever and all this kind of stuff. So like, I truly think that people care. I even to this day I'll be like, oh, not so and so, but oh, I want to make this video for them. It's like, no, if you make it for something that you love, people will be way more attracted to that and come and be more organically attracted to you. Not even like attracted in like physical, but attracted to what you're doing if you genuinely love what you're putting out.
Absolutely.
I respect that.
I do agree with that.
Fully.
Because my worst videos are when I put out videos thinking, oh, this is what people want to see.
The grabby video.
This is what people want to see. My best videos, when I put out ones and I'm like, I just love this. I don't care what it gets. I like it.
Like the picture you think is going to get the most likes. Yeah. Oh, nah, this one going to... It don't even be that picture. It be the one that you probably like the least.
Yeah, the off one. Oh man, I just like this because it's fun. Yeah. I like this because it's me.
Or you being goofy. You know what I'm saying? That's the one that gets the most attention because it's authentically yourself and people can relate to authenticity.
Yes.
My favorite thing is when
schoolwork.
Yeah, or when people.
Spell that.
Hey, in 4th grade, I did not win the spelling bee because I was out on the word sprinkler. But
how did you spell it?
Man, I can't even. I said, can you use it in a sentence? That's how you know I didn't know. Whenever they say, can you use it in a sentence?
This man.
He don't know. But everybody else was getting stuff like moon
Oh.
And, bicycle. And I'm like, man, I ride a bicycle every day. You give me sprinkler?
Bicycle's a harder one.
I mean,
No, maybe not. Not sprinkler. Yeah.
I'm gonna let you live.
Yeah. Let me make it, man. That's fourth grade. That's fourth grade me,
He wasn't turned on his sprinklers.
Can you kind of tell me how you found that and kind of how you guys grew? Because I felt like one day it was like, oh yeah, I found this place called Quick Lots. And it's like, oh yeah, they called me over the intercom. They called me TikTok Maddie. Like,
let's say Quick Lots is a Target liquidator in
Yes.
DFW. They have locations in North Carolina as well, but their locations in DFW are in Arlington and Hearst. So what they do and how they sell like Target furniture for so cheap is it's Target salvage stuff. So Target will mark stuff as salvage, and it will go to these different. Honestly, whoever buy it, you can buy pallets of Target stuff. I don't know if you know auction stuff, you can actually buy pallets of Target stuff. But they have basically a contract with them, so they will get Target salvage things, and so that's how we get it. And it's salvage, but it could have the littlest dent on it or have nothing wrong with it, and they're able to sell it for just so inexpensive. So definitely go check out Quick Lots. They have Instagram, and I have them all over my Instagram too. So definitely go check them out. But they reached out to me. When my daybed stuff was kind of blowing up, I got reached out to on TikTok, and she said that she had actually followed me and just loved my stuff. And it was actually funny because I was in Austin with one of my best friends, Sammy, at the time. And we got this message, and I got the same message from two different people. So we were scared we were about to be set up to be killed. I don't think I've ever told this to Jessica. Not killed, but I told you I put an air tag. You knew I had an air tag in my thing.
Who I got to track
Babe,
down?
you knew that for a fact, and you were like, "Should I come?" And I was like, "No, I don't think you need to come, but I'm gonna let you know how it was." Yeah, because I got the same message from Jessica on TikTok and a Will on Instagram, and so I was like, me and Sammy were both like, maybe that's just their marketing thing. And so we were skeptical, even though we knew what Quick Lots was. My friend had been to Quick Lots. We knew it was a business, but it was kind of like, why are you sending me the same message on two different platforms? Apparently they just really wanted me to come out. And so I went out there, and at that time, that was my first, they were like, hey, we'll give you product to tell people about our stuff. And I was like, okay, how much? And he's like, honestly, I just let people kind of pick things or whatever. So I'm kind of like a nervous person. So I get a little bit of stuff, and they're like, pick more stuff. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So I just make this authentic video because I truly walked in there and I thought that was the coolest place. That you could buy Target stuff for cheap. I said, are you kidding me? People pay thousands of dollars for something that you're selling for $50. How cool? Because
You just put me on.
Yeah, I'm all about, I love
furniture. Yeah.
I believe that people can have a beautiful home for a fraction of the cost. I don't believe that you have to spend a lot of money to have a beautiful home because of different places like this.
Facts.
So when I found this, I was like, I'm so excited to tell people about this.
Now that I'm thinking about it, you just saved me thousands of dollars because I do Airbnbs. So
I did just save you thousands of dollars.
So I'm like,
no, they have
I'm about
the
to go
best.
to Quick Lots. Come on.
No,
now.
for real.
What?
For real, they have everything. They have
Sure.
furniture. They have everything. And so I went there, and they were just the kindest people. I met the owner. I met the owner's son, which ended up being the marketing guy, and I met one of their operating, Jessica, who is one of my closest friends now. And I'm not kidding, they have welcomed me in like family. And so I made an authentic video just showing people the place. Yes, I did get product for it, but I didn't get paid for it. I didn't get special hours. I went whatever, and the videos blew up.
Mm-hmm.
And
that exposure.
Well, they said that it was, at that time, that was their top selling weekend that people had come. So they always said that I was their record breaker or whatever. So I was known in the place as TikTok Maddie, and they are built off not only do I love what they do where they sell cheap stuff, but I love what they stand behind and who they are. They will, I've had conversations with the owner where he said someone was in line and was like, I have been wanting this console table for so long. You don't understand. And now that I'm buying it for $200 instead of $1,000, this is making my whole month. And he said, you've wanted that for so long. It's free. He will give us stuff away. And so that's why they're all about the customer mindset. And that's what I'm all about. I'm all about treating people with kindness and going above and beyond. And that's what they're about. So our values align. So just right from that first beginning, I have such a love for Quick Lots now. Now I'll pay for my own stuff and when I go there, but I will just, I tell everybody about it, and I just think that it's the best thing, and I think that's the best type of way. Because I've worked with other brands, and I liked their stuff, but they didn't have that, people behind it, and I'm all about the people. Because I think a brand can be even amazing, like just with the people behind it. I think people make or break brands or anything, a business, a brand. And I think Quick Lots, just what they stand for, who they are as people, I will just support them till ever.
Yeah, and that's important
Forever.
too. That you're not just putting your name on anything. Like even Shaq, with how many businesses that he has, he said he does not stand behind anything that he cannot use. He does not believe.
And I think, but you need to, especially as a content creator, as as them, like Shaq, like a world figure. If you're putting your name behind just anything, people are not going to trust you.
Yeah.
You have to put your name behind stuff that you truly trust. I've turned down so many brands that were actually willing to pay me, and I would have made money, but I didn't stand behind their product. So why would I do that?
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So I think that's how you build yourself, or lose yourself as a content creator as well. Because if you just stand behind anything, you'll fall for anything as well. Yeah. What does it say? If you stand for nothing, you'll fall for anything, or something like that. So yeah. So when I met them, I was just like, after that, I was just like, this is just so authentic and amazing, and now I have such a great relationship with them.
I respect it. I love that.
I love them so much.
So
Found my wedding dress at Quick Lots. Shout out to them. They now have Not only are they doing home decor, they now have luxury freaking shoes, clothes, accessories. It's what they're doing is just amazing. And now they're. I had a little hint. I don't want to say it too much, but they're opening locations in Austin and Houston soon too. So shout out Quick Lots.
Yeah, they're going.
So Houston for your Airbnb.
Exclusives.
Hey man, Real Shooters Up podcast.
Real Shooter exclusives. Hey, okay, so that's awesome.
Yeah.
So let's kind of wrap it in. What's something that you would like to close with, Maddie? What would you say?
Me?
Yeah, maybe something. It could be inspiring. You could tell somebody, hey, something that you want to inspire someone, or you could say give somebody some momentum to do something or put their best foot forward.
I think we had a lot of seeds of knowledge throughout this whole thing. Just things that I've learned that have taken me 31 years to learn, that I tell you because it's taken me so long to learn, that I want other people to have that quicker.
Yeah.
If I can leave with one thing, it's just start and believe in yourself. Hate to quote Nike, but just do it. Like, just start it.
Yep.
And you know what? You might start 50 hobbies until you find the one that is the one. But you'll know when it's the one. When you find that passion, building brings me therapy. You know that. I'll be maybe in a bad mood, and I'm like, hey, Dave, I'm going to go put on some music, and I'm going to go work on this. And he's like, great, I'll see you in a couple hours. Like, and he gives me that time, and so just do it, just start, and believe in yourself. Because guess what? A lot of people aren't going to believe in you, and they're either not going to believe in you for two reasons. Some people just aren't going to believe in you. Second reason is they don't believe in you because they don't want you to level up, because they don't want to have to level up. And if you're not leveling up, then they can stay where they're at, and they can keep bringing you down. A lot of things I've learned is stop telling people your plans and just do it. Just do it. Believe in yourself. It's great to have a support system. I hope everybody does. But also, there was a time in my life where I didn't. Just do it. Believe in yourself. Believe in what you know. And find your relationship with God. Yeah. I really believe God is a huge reason for why I have what I have right now, or whatever you believe in. So,
Absolutely.
Yep. I'm all to God in gratitude. I owe it all.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be here without him.
Respect. I love that.
Yeah.
What about you, Des?
Me, I want the viewers to know, man, whatever you do in life, this is personally me, relationships are worth more than money. So kind of like what Maddie was saying, she's not going to put her name behind anything that she doesn't believe in, or that's not authentically her. You know what I mean? So with that being said, it's like relationships are worth more than money, man, because even today, me and Hunter, we connected. I connected with a dude, I met through Dave, you know what I'm saying? And he knew I had a transit company, and he's like, yo, I need something in Dallas that need to be delivered, and we haven't talked in a while, but he knows me as a person, he knows Dave, and he said, man, let me just call Desmond. If he could do it, he could do it. If he can't, he can't. He called me, I'm like, bro, what you need? And he was like, can you do it? Yeah, like, no problem. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's, you know what I'm saying? Like, I appreciate him calling me just to even like, yo, can you do this?
Yeah.
Bro, I have nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, no problem. You know what I'm saying?
The
Boom.
worst you could have said is no.
Exactly. Boom. And now look, thousands were made today. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
And that's just off of the relationship. So, yeah, man, relationships are worth more than money. Treat people right, and I guarantee it comes back tenfold.
Okay, I gotta say a little something though. All the women out there, Dez is a catch. I've met Dave. I met Dez for a little bit through Dave.
Oh man, I'm a
little
good
bit.
dude.
He
Bro.
is a good dude. So
He ain't shit.
I'm not trying to make his head big, but I just want y'all to know. If you
Bring it back down to reality.
message
You
me,
always think that.
I'll be Miss Matchmaker because I wanna. Dez needs a good woman.
And shout out to my mom because she doesn't let me have a big head. You know what I'm saying? I have one of those moms. She's like, you ain't cute. You know what I'm saying? I'll buy something new.
I'll be the first
I'll
to
be
that.
like, Mom, what you think? You look a little dusty.
You always
Shoes
need to be
ain't
brought
polished,
up.
like, you know what I'm saying? So,
Good.
man, shout out to the mom, but like,
Shout out to moms
thank
always.
you so much. Thank you, Maddie, for Dave. Do you have any words for everyone?
No, I don't. I think everything that was said has been said, and anything that hasn't been said is no.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Maddie, thank you so much for coming on to the podcast, sharing with us.
Thanks for having me.
Congratulations again on you guys being married.
Thank you.
That's beautiful. Yeah, man, Real Shooter Podcast. You guys got an exclusive. Check in, man. Leave some comments. Subscribe.
Tell her don't say shit, she keep it from you. She say I'm her favorite. Hold the fuck up, I don't want relations. Dread like the Haitians and hard like Mufasa. I clutch like a lobster. I'm moving my monsters. I'm calling some time cause you niggas is not us. I told